your time blank, so you've left all your time blank on this, huh? Yeah. Don't worry, we'll give you a big shout out.
If you wanted to not mention me, I'd recommend that would be it.
No chance. Are we live? Testing.
Right, you kick off here.
Alright. So the only person we don't have is James Laverty. So we're underway now with the North Belfast Harriers afternoon of 5,000 metres. So great afternoon in prospect here at Mary Peters track. Really windy conditions at the moment, Ronan.
Yeah, blowing a bit of gale here at this North Belfast Harriers meet. We have a full lineup here of Niall Tui from Annadale Striders, Ross Mercer from East Antrim Harriers, Ryan Galway from Strive Running Racing Club, Francis March from North Down AC, Philip Cooper from Annadale Striders, David Clark from North Belfast Harriers, Michael Council from Trim AC, Jake Lennox from Annadale Striders, James Traynor from North Belfast Harriers, Stephen Kennedy from Armagh AC, Stephen Lund from Lagan Valley, Peter Malarkey from City Derry Spartans AC, and James Clark from Armagh AC.
So in the very early stages then we have Stephen Lund from Lagan Valley taking it out from Jake Lennox from Annadale Striders. Only coming around to complete the first of 12 and a half laps. So if you're listening in on the stream and you have a bit of time later on, why not come on down to Mary Peters? Probably one of the nicest venues in Ireland for a race meet.
Yeah, it's a glorious setup here now in the sun today. I know it's a little bit windy, but it's certainly a great place to run. It always seems to get a little bit of sun down here. Commentator's curse there. Hopefully I'm looking at the sky. I think we're okay for today, but at the moment the man from Lagan Valley out the front is Stephen Lunn. He's ran 17:29, but he's hoping to run 16:10 today, which would be quite the jump, but he's gone for it from early doors.
Yeah, and it was a 75-second first 400 metres. He's opened up a bit of a gap over the rest of the field, so himself and Jake Lennox from Annadale Striders.
Yeah, he's around 18:34, but he's looking to break 16 minutes today. So two men, good hopeful running from the two lads today. They look like they're full of running anyway at the moment. I know it's early doors, but they've gone out at a reasonable pace. But two boys will be hoping for massive PBs today here on the track.
Well, they're giving it a go anyway, that's the main thing. So we'll see now when they go down the back straight, you can see there the barriers down the back straight and the same up the home straight, so anyone that comes down can get onto the track, cheer on the athletes as we go through the day. Some great races in prospect. There we are through 800, 233. So 78-second lap.
Yeah, good decent pace from these boys early doors. A couple of interesting characters in this one. Michael Council he's an over 55 man from Trim AC. He's ran 17:05 in the past and looking to run 16:50 today. So it's really strong running from him. We've got Ryan Galway in there as well from Strive Running Club, and he's looking for 16:15 today. That's the club of Tommy Hughes, who goes later on in the E-race. I suppose most interesting about Ryan Galway is he's a big Football Manager fan, and so I don't know what kind of shape he's in if he's just recently bought that. I know I wouldn't be running if I bought Football Manager 2022.
You wouldn't be here. So that's Michael Council just at the very back of the group there. We have the two athletes now at about 30-40 metre lead, and then I suppose just running a train in behind, but really early stages.
Yeah, we've got David Clark in there as well as the North Belfast Harrier, the home club here. He's won double European gold for the men's over 60s, and that was in Braga this year, over 8 and 15. So this is a bit of a longer distance for him, but 2 years ago almost broke the Masters 3K record, and just missing out on that. So he's a competitor and a winner, probably a little bit strong for him today, but it is still early doors yet. You can see this changing massively, especially those two boys out front not having ran at this pace before. We could see a bit of a blow up here over the latter laps, but they're looking pretty good at the moment, Fintan.
Yeah, look, absolutely, and the amount of people that went to Braga for that European Masters from Ireland was a huge contingent there. They had a great time. Obviously, David coming back with 2 goals, but we go through now 4:31 there through 1400, and now moving into third place is James Traynor from North Belfast Harriers. So it has a best of 16:30. Probably been more realistic, looking to run 16:15 today, but our 2 leaders looking to run massive PBs, but at least they're giving it a go. And it's still in the lead from Lagan Valley, Stephen Lunn, just sitting in behind him as he has from the very start, Jake Lennox from Annadale Striders.
Yeah, I was trying to think of some sort of bragging related pun there for David Clark, but I felt you wouldn't appreciate it. I think you're a bit too serious for that pun, are you?
Plus, he wouldn't have been the only gold medalist in the
bragging
Masters
about
from
his success.
Yeah, so you could turn around to the next Irish person and they'd have another gold as well.
Still plenty of running here at the front from these boys. Niall Tui in this one as well from Annadale Striders. He's coming as he's a refugee and he's running there. He's in probably 7th place at the moment there in the kit of Annadale Striders.
Yeah, and anyone that saw the BBC Newsline article the other day about a lot of the Ethiopian contingent that have come over here and settled in very nicely, and Annadale Striders' great history in distance running with Davy Wilson, Dermot Donnelly and all the Brian Tracy, etc., Gary Locke, one of the great clubs of Irish athletics. But Jake Lennox is still being led out by Stephen Lunn, so it's the Lagan Valley man from the Annadale Striders athlete, and then local club North Belfast Harriers, then James Traynor in behind with 3 athletes just tucked in behind him. So they're coming up to 2,000 metres now, Ronan. See what they're at and give us an indication. So around 6:28, 6:29. So 3:14s on average, so probably running around 16:15 pace or 16:20 if they can keep it going.
I think so. I think James Traynor there is probably lurking in the background. He's got a 16:30 PB and he's looking to run 16:15 today, so he's that man back there in 3rd place. So kind of letting these boys go out early doors, and he's ran sub 16 minutes on the road as well, so you could see him being quite sensible here and going off at a steady pace and maybe catching these boys in the later laps. You can see the man from Annadale Striders there, Jake Lennox. It's just looking like he's hurting a little bit, even though he is keeping pace with our man from Lagan Valley, Stephen Lunn in front.
Yeah, so like Stephen has a 16:19 on the road, but as we all know, 5,000 metres on the track is a different animal to 5,000 metres on the road. So 16:19 on the road, if he could replicate that, he's on that pace.
Yeah, and the road tends to be a little bit easier in terms of those personal bests over 5k, and the latter laps here from 2 miles to 3 miles is where the track really eats up the guys coming from the road, and the concentration is a lot more difficult here on these 12.5 laps. But the boys still going very, very well here at the moment. Stephen Lunn in the lead, and Jake Lennox just behind. James Traynor there in 3rd, and Peter Malarkey taking this seriously. Peter Malarkey, no fun for him today. He's in 4th place in the red of City of Derry Spartans AC.
So probably 60 metre lead now for the 2 boys. So they have extended it. We looked as though they might have been just struggling a wee bit, but they're continuing to open up the gap. And this is a brave run by Stephen Lunn from the front. Probably a minute inside his 5,000 metre track time. But doing the sensible thing, Jake Lennox sitting on his shoulder, letting him break the wind for him. And then it's the North Belfast Harriers, James Traynor from Peter Malarkey, then City of Derry AC Spartans, who has a 17:20 on the track, looking for 16:50, so he looks to be well inside that as well.
Yeah, we're really getting into the difficult zone here now. 5.5 laps to go for the leaders when they come up here at the 200 metre mark, so it is getting into difficulties over the next couple of laps. That's where it's going to happen. You can see a bit of a move there from man back from, I think that's the He's from Armagh AC. I'm not too sure which of the Armagh AC men that is, but the boys in front, less than 5.5 laps to go here now, and this is where the misery and the pain is really going to come to the fore. So James Traynor slipping off there, 3rd place. He's gone back to 6th at the moment, just in front of Niall Tui.
Going to take a punt. It's James Clark from Armagh, maybe in 3rd place. Well, we're coming up now to the 3,000 metres. So it looks as though they'll be around 9:47, 48, maybe 9:50. So
I've seen how well you've guessed that, Fintan. Oh, absolutely spot on. Fair play to you.
Yeah.
Top stuff.
So that's dropped to a 3:22 kilometre. So definitely have slowed. They were on average in 3:14s before that. And the field well strung out. You do not want to be on your own in these longer races on the track. It's absolute mental torture, 12.5 laps. And they're beginning to feel it at this stage, but they're in now. Just less than 5 laps to go. So we can see our leader there just looking at his watch, Stephen Lunn. Always find it strange when the athletes are looking at their watches in the middle of the race.
Or stopping the watch at the end of the race in front of a massive clock. Yeah.
And now the move, Jake Lennox has decided it's time for him to go.
Yeah, he's looking full of run there. You can see him, he's already made a little bit of a gap on Stephen Lunn, who's looking down at his feet and in a Jens Voigt type of fashion going, shut up legs. He's trying to get him going again. And the man from Armagh, I see there, James Clark, is starting to eat up the ground, certainly on Stephen Lunn, but Jake Lennox has made a bold bid for home here now with a mile to go.
Yeah, so Jake Lennox has 16:33 for on the road, but 18:34 on the track, so he probably hasn't ran too many track 5,000 metres. But there's definitely going to be changes in this race, because James Clark from Armagh AC is beginning to close that pretty significantly. Whether he can keep that going or whether he's gone too early himself, time will tell.
Yeah, he looks like he's got plenty of running left in his legs, but so does Jake Lennox, who is starting to move away from Stephen Lunn. I think Lunn could be in trouble here from Clark, but Clark is eating up that ground all the time, and it's going to be... It's like a slow bicycle race here. It's going to be a very slow for James Clark to eat up that ground, but he is eating it up with every single stride.
Yeah, so very little arm movement actually by our 2nd and 3rd place athletes, but the gap now probably to our leader, probably 20 metres and then 20 metres back into 3rd place, and then probably 40 metres probably then. Oh, and look at this move by Niall Tui. He's decided something's just happened there, and he is gone like the clappers here in 4th place.
He is that's quite the turn of speed there. It was almost like a miscounting of the laps type kick there. What is how it looked with 200 to go, but he's after making up serious ground already, and with 3 laps to run, 1,200 metres. Can Niall Tui bridge that gap? You have to think he's going to slow down a little bit again. He got out of that group and tried to get the legs going, but
yeah. So that was a fast 200 metres, but could be a slow next 1,200 for Niall Tui. Well, it looks as though we could have a change for 2nd and 3rd here. So Stephen Lunn and James Clark are going to be side by side very shortly. Our leader still with about 20-25 metres is Jake Lennox from Annandale Striders, coming through 4,000 now running.
Yeah, running well there. Lennox looks like he's got plenty left in the legs. I'd be pretty confident, as I say this, I'm tapping the table, but that Jake Lennox is not going to struggle over these last couple of laps, but it really depends on what James Clark does here, because he is flying at the moment, and looks like he's closing that gap. He's past Stephen Lunn, who's probably trying to gather himself a little bit again, and this is probably where the little bit of fight needs to come in for Lunn there to hold on to some good running early doors, but Lennox has plenty of running here and left in his legs, but will Clark get up to take him on now with 800 metres left to run.
So it's 13:13 at 4,000 metres, so 3:17 to try and break 16:30. He was hoping to break 16 minutes today, but that is a really strong gusty wind.
Yeah, and he's kind of been out in his own or with Stephen Lunn there for quite a few laps, so you kind of question whether 16 minutes might have been a bridge too far today, but Clark is closing with every single metre here, and I wonder does Lennox know that Clark has him in his sights here on the back straight. It's probably a gap of about 30 metres here at the moment.
Just over 600 to go. Jake Lennox from James Clark, and then still in third place, but Niall Tui closing that gap now on Stephen Lunn. So it looks as though Niall Tui is going to make another burst for a couple of 100 metres.
Maybe he's running. It looks like he's doing a bit of a fartlek session here, only running hard on the back straight and then relaxing in the home straight. But he's passing out Stephen Lunn here now with 550 metres to run. He is looking fantastic here as he goes by Stephen Lunn, but probably left himself with a bit too much to do here. And Clark looks like he's struggling a little bit as well coming into this last lap, and Lennox still with that lead of about 30-40 metres.
So we look down there and we can see he's going to get the bell now. There'll be a welcome bell. So 15:11:04 at the bell, 15:15 then for James Clark, and then Niall Tui 15:20, and then 15:21 then for Stephen Lunn. And Francis Marsh from North Down AC leads out then the next group.
It's Peter Malarkey then just behind him, has been running pretty consistently throughout there. James Traynor has fallen off a little bit, but really at the front here we've got Lennox and Clark at the moment, and it looks like this race is pretty much done here. Lennox has it looks like he has it in the legs, and Clark just behind him, and a fantastic run here from Niall Tui as well, getting up to third place. Stephen Lunn, our early leader, sitting back and forth, but he only has 200 metres left to run. I think he'd be glad to get himself off the track here with a decent run today.
Jake Lennox looks at his watch coming off that final bend. He's actually kicked on there with 200 to go. I'm going to go for 6:25, I'll say. So battling to the line here. It's going to be inside that actually. 6:22.67. So around 6:25 then I'd say for James Clark. And then Niall Tui he looks over his shoulder. It's a good last couple of 100 metres there by Stephen Lunn to try and get back up to him. And then we have Francis Marsh from North Down, fast finishing Ross Mercer from East Antrim Harriers, from City of Derry's Peter Malarkey, then James Traynor from North Belfast Harriers. And we see David Clark coming across. Yeah,
Ryan Galway and then David Clark.
So all these boys will be under 17, I'd say, at this stage still.
It's a decent performance, you're saying, in the wind. Difficult day in the wind. We have the man from Army I see here, Stephen Kennedy, coming up as well. He's around 17:21. That's his personal best, so he'll be pretty close to a personal best today, I'd say. Or thereabouts. You're looking at his watch now. And then our man from Trim AC as well, Mick Council, coming into the home straight here in the red and white of Trim AC.
So that's the first of our 8 races done. The men's F 5,000 metres, the winner there. Very impressive actually, in fairness. Jake Lennox from Annandale Strider, 16:22.67.
Yeah, good performance there from Lennox. Great way to start the day as well with a 16:22. So good performance there in the men's F race. Up next we'll have the E race. So as you see, improving times throughout the day, and we're going to chat to our race winner there, Jake Lennox.
Stand there, mate. Just stand there so we can see the clock. So Jake, congratulations. A big PB, I believe, is it?
Thank you very much. Well, by my watch, it's about 9 seconds. So I've been trying for that since kind of mid last summer. I'd gotten around 16:31, I think it was. So just been struggling to break that for a while. So thankfully now some of the speed stuff seems to be paying off for me anyway.
We can just see the clock right behind you there, 16:22:67.
Is that what it was?
So yeah, so you're happy. That's how many second PB is that then?
That's 9 seconds.
9 seconds.
So my Garmin wasn't lying to me for once.
So then, as far as the race is concerned today, what was the plan going out?
Well, I kind of just wanted to sit in, see how I get on, and then if I had the strength in the last kind of 3 laps or so, just give it a wee kick. And I felt around the pace was starting to slow around halfway through, but I felt like I still had a good bit in the tank, so I just kind of pushed on and went for it anyway.
Good man. And how's the training been going up to now?
Training's been good. I had COVID about a month ago, so thankfully I don't have any long symptoms from that, but it's been going grand. I had a really good, a really present cross-country season anyway. I ran loads of them, so I think that's helped me out with the strength a good bit, and then just starting to build in more hills and speed now coming into the outdoors.
Good man. And you haven't been running that long, have you?
No, I've been with Annadale for about 2 years now, but before them I hadn't even run under 20 minutes, and then my first track race I did like 1937. That was Halloween a couple of years ago, and then early last year something happened. I guess the training just clicked and I got to like low 17s at a park run and went out the next week for the Downpatrick and ran 16:31 there, my PB, so it was nice to be ticking it all down anyway.
So steady progress then the whole time?
Exactly, yeah.
Good man. And then what's the plan going forward for the summer?
Mostly 5Ks, a good bit of track, and then a few 15s and 3Ks if I can as well, but mostly keeping it kind of middle distance, nothing any longer than 10K really.
Good man. And what does a race like this mean to you? You know, what does it give you good preparation going into a race like this, you know?
It's kind of where I started, and I think track is my bread and butter. Annadale's train here every Tuesday, so it's home turf I guess as well, but there's just something so spiritual and lovely about the train tracks around the Burgundy.
Yeah, so. And obviously North Belfast Harriers organised this the 5,000 for today, and it's something a lot of planning going into, you know. So and obviously local clubs like yourself, it's important that we all get out and support it, and you know, long may it last.
Yeah, we're so grateful to North Belfast for this. We've got a good healthy camaraderie in like racing. You know, we'll be organising the 3Ks as well. It's just nice to trade and always have good races set up for each other and to compete.
Well, Jake, congratulations, and good luck with the year ahead.
Cheers. Enjoy the rest of the day. I can't wait to see the rest of these races now.
Thanks.
Cool. Nice to meet you.
I'm someone with class at school. I prefer this charity walk in Dublin there. I think that is it. And what is 18 miles.
So we're back up now. Interview over, Ronan.
Certainly, Jake Lennox, loving the interview there. Great hair as well, must be said. So fair play to him. That's a job in itself.
Yeah. He's down there getting a number of hugs.
Yeah.
In fact, he's jumping on people, I think.
Yeah. So, I don't even know those people, to be honest.
So our first winner of the day,
Jake Lennox from Annadale Striders. This men's E-race now. We've got good field in this one. So we've got Tig Everett Thompson from Drogheda, Michael Fox from Armagh AC, Oisin Cassidy from St Michael's College, Ethan Dunn from Lockview AC, Lachlan Connolly from Annadale Striders, Lucas Cairns from Inverness Harriers, Aaron Woodman from Willowfield Harriers, Daniel Malloy and Aidan Brown, both from Newcastle and District, Jamie McMeekin from North Down AC, Colin McDowell from North Belfast Harriers, Edward Cook from Annadale Striders, Conor O'Roy from North Belfast Harriers, Thomas O'Kellick from Burn AC, Tom Crudgington from Newcastle and District AC, Chris Anderson from Annadale Striders, Conor Gallagher from Letterkenny AC, and Tommy Hughes from Strive Running Club.
probably one of the most famous athletes in Ireland at the moment.
Never heard of him. What's his story?
I think he gets faster as he gets older. He's one of the few people that Gary O'Hanlon looks up to that's older than him.
He's one of the few people in the country that's actually older than Gary O'Hanlon.
Yeah. And faster.
But but certainly a man that's got plenty of running in the legs and flying it on the roads, and hoping to transform, put that onto the track now as well. Over 5k here. A few young bucks in this one as well. Oisin Cassidy from St. Michael's College. He's running on this one. He's a big Man United fan, so he's hoping that they get some bit of positive news this weekend anyway with this race.
Schools cross country this year up in Mollusk, St. Michael's. Very, very strong on the boys. Intermediate and senior. So it's great to see. They had a number of athletes on the schools international as well. It's great to see the schools being so strong and bringing the athletes through.
Yeah, and Oisin Cassidy himself was he was second in the Ulster Under 19 3k last year, so he's a man running well over the last 18 months. With a good run, as I said, Jake Lennox earlier on, that win in that one 16:23, James Clark 16:27, and Niall Tui 16:35, and Stephen Lund, the early leader, 16:35 as well. So good running in that one. 8 men breaking 17 minutes, and Ryan Galway 17:89. So it's a football manager.
Big field here, and everyone looking to, I think, to run 16 minutes or below here. So we should have fast enough. So they'll go off pretty hard here. So right on the inside, Tyg Everett Thompson from Drogheda District was making sure he got to the lead. He went off like in 800 metres there. Now he's settled right down. So Tyg, coached by Ian O'Reilly in Drogheda District.
Yeah, gone straight to the front there, and the yellow vest there, that is
James McMeehan, I think, is it?
I think it's the man from Inverness Harriers, Lucas Cairns. He's looking to run 15:30 today. He's ran 16:08, and he's ran 15:39 on the road. So a man in good form, 33:15 as well over 10k. But that's 15:39 is a season's best, and he's certainly gone out hard here and straight to the front.
Thought it was the North Down AC singlet there, but great to see the big contingent of Scottish athletes over here this weekend. So it's the first Scottish athlete we have on view. So Lucas Cairns, Inverness Harriers, looks like he's probably still a youth or junior athlete. Well, he's certainly taking it on here. Just can't see the clock properly. 72 seconds, I'd say, through the first 400 metres. So 4:30, 1500 pace.
Yeah, he's plenty of running in the legs there. Lucas Cairns gone to the front and leading this field out, and obviously after making his way over here, looking to run a good personal best here, 15:39 on the road, so hoping to run faster than that here on the track today. Man in second, I think, is from Willowfield Harriers. Then Aaron Woodman. Yeah, Aaron Woodman there in second place from Willowfield Harriers, in the blue and white Willowfield Harriers. And he is in second there. He's gone with this early run from Lucas Cairns, the man from Willowfield Harriers, who's ran 16:09, looking to run 15:40, and has a sub-16 personal best from the road. So these two men have detached themselves from the rest of the field. We should recognise that Willowfield Harriers best. Andrew Gurley finished third in front of me in an Ireland Schools 800 metres in 2007, and I wake up screaming seeing that blue and white vest.
Yeah. Say he sleeps sound at night.
I'd say, yeah, on a bed of cash, no doubt, at this stage.
Yeah. But you're teaching a private school, so you must be loaded, eh?
Exactly, yeah. Does anyone want any coffees? Free coffees up here. Come down to the Mary Peters track. But Lucas Cairns gone to the front early doors, and he is flying at first. He's got about maybe a 5-6 metre lead on Aaron Woodman, and about a 30 metre lead there in the rest of the field. So this young athlete with plenty running in his legs, perhaps a bit too enthusiastic early doors.
Yeah, so he's going to go through pretty fast. First 1,000 metres, 3:03. So he's certainly giving it a go here on his own. And the main bunch going through in 3:08. So we're still at 15:40 pace for the main bunch. 15:15 pace for our leader, Lucas Cairns.
Yeah, he's got a lovely stride there as he works his way down the back straight. Oisin Cassidy is the man leading that group there, that peloton just there. He's in third place. That's the young athlete from St. Michael's in Enniskillen. And then the two lads from Newcastle and District just behind him, Daniel Malloy and Aidan Brown there, letting the young men do the work there just in front of him. The kind of forward lean there of Oisin Cassidy in the white. And they got a nice little group there just behind him, two North Belfast Harriers there in that group as well. So all the elder statesmen there letting the young fella do the work in third place.
Yeah, and I was going to talk him up, Oisin, but he's a Man United fan by what I'm just hearing, so it's the end of the commentary from me on Oisin.
Not a United fan yourself, into
Liverpool, thankfully.
Oh, very good, yeah. Enjoy it while it lasts, I suppose. Oh, it's Lucas Cairns.
And our leader, did you see that? Lucas Cairns just hit the curb. Did well to keep his balance there.
Deft footwork there from Lucas Cairns. I suppose, yeah, it doesn't look like it was out of any tiredness, just
got the shock of his life. Shock of his life, I think.
It's not like many time indoors you might run an 8 1500, you might go, I like to look at that rail there, I might just trip over it as I tail off the back.
The big dive. So you were pushed. So you were pushed when you were tailed 10 metres off the back.
Not a man in sight. Aaron Woodman here, he's probably moving further away from Cairns there. That little stumble there from Cairns gave him a little bit of a shot of adrenaline, so he's kind of made a 2 or 3 metre gap again on what he had on Aaron Woodman, and Woodman's going to cut there in the middle.
So fantastic concept this afternoon of 5,000 metres put on by North Belfast Harriers. Great foresight from them, great team effort, and then we see all the volunteers around the place all giving up their time today, which is fantastic. So this is a medium to long term project for these guys, and I reckon in a few years' time we will have sub 35,000s or better here on this track. So let's hope it continues.
Yeah, there's a great energy here, and the athletes are feeding off it as well, and great organisation here from the host club, who I've been known to shout out on streams in the past repeatedly. Go Stags.
Yeah. Oldest club in Ireland, I believe.
It is, yes, yeah. Some of the original members still knocking around, I believe. Yeah, 1886.
Yeah. So our leader, Lucas Cairns, wearing 147 from Inverness Harriers, coming up to 2,000 metres. He's not just going to be as fast a K, but it's holding it pretty well. 6:09, so 3:06. He's still probably on 15:30 pace if he can keep it going.
Yeah, it'll be a fantastic run here from Cairns if he can run that, because he has been leading pretty much from the first 100 metres, shot to the front after the man from Drogheda went to the front originally, and he's been leading the field from the get-go, so hard into the wind today. So if he can run 15:30, he'll be relatively happy with that, I'd say. But Aaron Woodman is actually closing that gap there now by the metres.
And he looks actually really strong there. He leans forward into the wind, but I'd say he's going to be back with Lucas in the next time they come round here. And then very forward leaning run then by St. Michael's man Oisin Cassidy, leading out that group of the two Newcastle and District athletes, Daniel Malloy and Aidan Brown, most likely coached by Richard Rogers.
That looks like Jamie McInmeekin off the back of that group there from North Down AC, the yellow vest with the blue stripe. He's just lost a few yards there on the back of the North Belfast Harrier.
Probably Craig's brother who'll be running in the A-race later on.
So a nice little group there, but you can see Woodman there is making up that ground, and I'd say he'll rejoin him here at the close of this lap. By the looks of things at the moment, he's gathering pace. How will he react here, the young man Cairns? That'll tell a lot about the last couple of laps, how he reacts here as he comes onto his shoulder.
Yeah, probably do no harm actually to have someone running with him. It's running 4,900 on your own is difficult. So now the two of them together, and it looks as though Aaron Woodman is just going to go past him, which is no bad thing, I don't think, for Lucas, if he can just tuck in now behind him and let him do some of the work. And that's exactly what's happening here. But can he hold on to the back of him, or will Aaron push on? Out in his own in third place then we have Oisin Cassidy, and then the two Newcastle and District athletes, the North Belfast Harrier athlete and then the North Down AC athlete. But Lucas didn't get overly concerned there. He's tucked in behind. So good racing prospect here.
Yeah, it was smart running there from Cairns just to sit in behind again, and you can athlete that young as well, you can sometimes see them panic a little bit as an athlete goes by, but they're actually running quite well here, and he'll do well just to sit in behind him for a couple of laps and kind of gather himself again. And Cassidy has made a bit of a jump there out of third place there. He's made a few yards on the lads from Newcastle and District. AC, Daniel Malloy and Aidan Brown, who were running well together, but that group is kind of splintered a little bit here with McMeekin off the back of that, but Woodman in the lead.
I don't know if you've done any 5,000s on the track, Ronan.
I'd never do something so silly.
Me neither. I remember doing the odd 1,500 even, but as you say yourself, as you were saying earlier on, even with Brian Fay running that 13-16 last week, that he went through torture for 2 or 3 laps in the middle of the race, and this is what happens. You have to keep your concentration, go through bad spells, get yourself into your rhythm again, and we saw Brian finish with a 53-second last lap. Phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, he's running very, very well, and I think this ran up here in the past as well in over 1,500 and 5k, and it's certainly great running, but great running across the board. There's plenty of boys running some really, really quality times under 14 minutes. Got a lot of athletes, like a bus situation,
Yeah.
Wait all day, and then a couple of them come at once. So there'll be a serious battle over all the distances here in different championships if we can get them all to run the same race.
Hopefully.
They'll probably all meet each other in Ardegam,
Hopefully, it'd be great to see them. Great to see them. I want it'd be better to see them at the national championships. Whether we see our US athletes at the national seniors, but there's unbelievable races in prospect over 8, 15, 5,000, both in men's and women's. And now a move again then by Lucas Cairns, and he's actually really pushed this on here. So 4 laps to go, a mile to go for the boys. There'll be no harm then. Aaron Woodman probably enjoying now being at the back, but he's opening up 2 or 3 metres now. So he's made his move, 4 laps to go. 4-5 metre lead now for Lucas Cairns over Aaron Woodman.
Yeah, back in that battle for third there with Oisin Cassidy, it's actually Tom Crudgington from Newcastle and District AC who's got up there to 4th place, and he looks like he's just jumped into the race. He's got so much energy here. He's gone by Oisin Cassidy quite easily there, and Cassidy, another young athlete, could do well just to sit in behind him.
Yeah, good group of senior athletes in Newcastle and District, and if you had Ryan Forsyth into the group and Owen Totten, yeah, like there was a chance there a couple of years ago that they had a chance of potentially win the national senior cross country. Really strong team. So the gap now 10 metres now at least for Lucas Cairns, the Scottish athlete from Inverness Harriers. Really good lap.
Yeah, he kind of just settled in for those couple of laps behind Woodman and got over that little hump there, and you see there he almost struggled to go by Woodman, but once he'd gone by, he's after putting the afterburners on and made a serious dash here. As speaking of serious dashes, our man Crudgington has gone up there to 3rd place, and Cassidy is holding on well at the moment.
Yeah, then Colin McDowell from North Belfast Harriers in 5th place or 6th place. We're coming up now to 4,000. I think we lead about 20 metres now.
Yeah, You've got Daniel Malloy back there in 6th as well, the other Newcastle District AC man. He's settled in there nicely. So it's a good battle there. There's plenty of smaller battles going on in the kind of lesser placings, but this battle up front looks to be done. Dustin Cairns looks full of running here. He's actually running better than he was for the last 3 or 4 laps. He's lovely stride there as he comes into the home straight. He's going to have 2 laps to run, 800 metres, the 2-lap tango to finish off, and plenty of running here in his legs.
Well, he was 12:30 through 4,000, so just over 3:07 a kilometre. So he's on course for around 15:30 if he can keep this going, which would be a really, really good run. He's looking to run 15:30 today. Best track time is 16:08. He has a road 5k at 15:39, but he's into new territory here. You can see him digging into that wind there. But he's opened up now 30-40 metres, and he looks as though he is getting faster and faster. There's plenty of running in those legs yet.
Yeah, very, very impressive run from the young man. Coming all the way from Scotland. It's 33:15 for 10k, so certainly got plenty of endurance, and you see that kind of coming to the fore here. He's plenty of running in the legs.
You just see the difference in the running stride now between first and second there. In second, Aaron Woodman is really digging down, looking down at the ground. He's really, really tired, whereas our leader, Lucas Cairns, still big stride.
Jamie McMeekin there from North Down, he's just pulled out there with 2 laps to run, so obviously in a little bit of distress there, but that was running quite well. Hopefully he's alright. Cairns here, plenty running. Woodman in behind, and Crudgington there from Newcastle and District is eating up that ground, and he's obviously sniffing the home finish here, and he's flying into the home straight here, but he'll have a lap to run here. Unlikely to catch Woodman, but Woodman is struggling a little bit there in second, but Cairns plenty of running.
So our leader just under 14:25. You have to come home in a 65 to break 15:30. Highly unlikely, but we have 15:35, 15:40. Tom Cuddington now through in 14:42, and then Oisin Cassidy, St Michael's in 14:50. Colin McDowell from North Belfast Harriers with a lap to go. He goes through in 14:56. Just over 200 metres running now for our leader. You want to bring him home?
Yeah, he's running. He's a classy runner here. You can see. Hopefully he'll go on to even better heights here, because he is absolutely flying a lovely stride here as he flows in. 150 metres left to run, passing the seatbelt chase barrier from the start. He went to the start to the front with 100 metres gone in the race, and he's pretty much led it. And he kicks into the home straight here, and the arms are throwing side to side. He's throwing everything into this. He knows that he's going to be reasonably close to his 15:30 goal. He gets support there from the crowd, which are on the track, and he is tearing up the home straight. It's going to be very, very close. He's just going to miss out on 15:30. 15:34.29 for our leader, Lucas Cairns. Came all the way from Inverness, and he'll go home to Scotland a happy man.
69 last lap for him. Probably his fastest lap.
Aaron Woodman there throwing his head side to side. Sean shaking his head as he come up the home straight, and he is putting everything into that. And Crudgington there getting up for 3rd place, so breaking 16 minutes. So some really, really good performances here. Sub 16, 3 men under that is Oisin Cassidy here from St Michael's. He'll be hoping to get a good result. In fact, he probably already has a good result at this stage. I haven't checked the scores of that Man United game, as we have our other Newcastle District AC man coming up there. That was Daniel Malloy, and then the North Belfast Harrier there, Colin McDowell getting up as well. And that's Lachlan Connolly then from Manadale Striders coming over the line there for about 7th place.
Tyke Evers-Thompson 16:27 or so. So our winner there is a junior athlete coached by Ross Cairns, which I presume is his dad. There'll be a nice bit of work done. They'll be happy with that. 15:33, massive track PB. See Conor Curran down there congratulating him afterwards. He's bringing him over to the trackside commentator for his 2 minutes of fame.
Yeah, really good initiative here. We've got all of our winners getting interviewed. As you see, 4-2-1 coming up to the line there. That's
it's Edward Cook actually from Manadale Striders coming across in 17:13. And one more athlete still out on the track.
You can see the wind is causing a little bit of havoc here. You can see it's blowing blowing a fair old gale here at the moment, so time's probably a little bit slower than some of the athletes would like, but still some really good performances here. Mr. Cairns there, Lucas Cairns, running really well. It's 4-2 something. Is that Thomas O'Kelly from Burn AC? Best I don't recognise.
Yeah. 17:54.
So he's a 16:30 PB. So I'm gonna have a chat here with our winner, Lucas Cairns.
We're good to go. Hi guys, well done, congratulations at the North Belfast 5,000 metres today, well done. Lucas claiming first prize there, Lucas Cairns, all the way over from Scotland. How was that race for you?
It was pretty good. I was hoping to get under 15:30, but it's a bit of a win today, so you have to add on a couple seconds for that. So good race overall though.
And we get some sunshine, which is always a bonus, isn't it?
Yeah, no, you don't get much of it over in Scotland.
Exactly. And how was it tactics? How did tactics go for you?
I wasn't really much of a tactic. I just kind of I thought anywhere between 73 to 75 second laps and just roll with that, see what I could do.
Yeah, good man. And how's training been up until this?
I've only came back from injury 2 weeks ago because I'm going through a bit of a growth phase right now, so keep getting growing pains in my hips, so I'm kind of on and off, but training the past 2 weeks has been pretty decent. So.
Excellent, well done. And what's the plan going forward for you then?
So I've got exams just now, so focusing on exams, and then after that I'm going to try and see if I can make a big play for the Liverpool British Cross, which is in November.
Good man, that's brilliant. You going to stay in Belfast tonight?
I'm flying back tonight actually. I've got a couple of training partners training later on, so I'll watch their race and then I'll head back to Scotland. Good
man, brilliant. Well, thanks a million for coming. I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. And if you just stall there a bit, just to congratulate the runner-up here, Aaron Woodman, Willowfield Harriers, local man. Aaron, how was that for you? Against this boy?
Yeah, horrible. I didn't really know what to expect. It's only my second ever track race, and I did Land's End, the John O'Groats as a relay team 2 weeks ago, so ploughed in a few miles of that, 90 miles in 3.5 days or something. Wow. So pretty tired from that still, but I'm supposed to be ultra training, but I did this last year and it was a complete disaster, and it was a little bit less of a disaster today. I wanted to go out a little bit slower, but your man must have had a can of Iron Brew this morning and he went off the front, and I thought I'll go with him. If you don't go, you don't know, do you? So yeah, I went and then got to 3k, thought this isn't too bad, got to 3,200 and thought quicksand, cheers. So yeah, I started treading water a little bit then, and then he went back past me and disappeared into the sunset. Yeah.
Big PB though.
On the track, yeah. 19 second PB, but it's only my second race on the track.
Yeah,
well, I don't know, 18 seconds, but it was, yeah. But it won't be somewhere I'm coming back to quickly. Yeah.
Good man. Well, listen, thanks a million for participating today, guys. Appreciate it, and see you home as well, Lucas. Okay.
Yeah.
See you guys. Thanks.
Cheers. Thank you.
So just to go back now, we'll give you the official results before we get underway with the D-Men's 5,000, which is on in 3 minutes. So Jake Lennox from Mandale Striders won that F 5,000 metres in 16:23:01. 16:27 then was James Clark. And then Niall Tuitui was another 7 seconds, so he was 16:31, 16:32 then for Stephen Lunn. So we hope that the races will get faster and faster. It showed it there 16:23 and we had there a 15:33, so big gap there. That is a fast E-race. We'll see can our D athletes go as fast as that one.
Yeah, should be a good race here, the men's D race. So we've got Jimmy Sloan from Newry AC, Peter Donnelly from North Belfast Harriers, Chris Hutchinson from Annandale Striders, Gareth Hill from Ballymena and Antrim, Michael Crawley from Strive Racing Club, Martin Cox he's unattached club-wise, I'm not sure about his relationship status, Gavin McCaffrey from North Belfast Harriers, Oran O'Hare from Foyle AC, Valley AC, Paddy O'Donnell from City of Derry Spartans AC, Sean McLaughlin from North Down AC, Jack Stenson from North Belfast Harriers, Lawrence O'Hara from North Belfast Harriers, John Maroney from Galway City Harriers, Ryan Smith from Annandale Striders, Matthew Willis from Lagan Valley AC, Brendan McCambridge from North Belfast Harriers, David McNeely from Newcastle District, Brandon McKeown from Annandale Striders, and Gareth Lyons from North Belfast Harriers. So big lineup.
19 athletes going to post here.
A couple of interesting characters in this one. Jake Stinson, he was in the Congo for the last year and speaks several different languages: French, Portuguese and Spanish. Don't know how that's going to be in any way helpful today, but
well, time will tell. So the slowest athlete here looking to break 15:40, and actually Gavin McCaffrey has a target time from North Belfast Harriers of 14:50 here.
Yeah, it's a decent field. A lot of athletes kind of looking to run around that kind of 15:25. So we should see a good group knocking in around that. But PBs from all sorts of times here, back to like 16:20, and a lot of road PBs in around that 15:40. So a lot of guys that maybe haven't ran the track too much over the last 2 years in particular, but we could see some big results this early in the season as well. You'd often see athletes who've been training hard all winter, and you mightn't have seen much of a progression maybe in their different personal bests, but this early in the season you can suddenly drop your 20-30 seconds on last summer's training.
So Jack Steenson, as you're saying, he's a 66-minute half marathon, so it's decent running that. I know he has the stamina, whether he has the speed is another thing.
Yeah, he's 26 years of age. Will he hit the front here? You'd expect a man that's around 66 for a half marathon not to hang around and wait for the last couple of laps, so could be an early leader for us here, the North Belfast Harrier, and he'd be the first North Belfast Harrier winner of the day. We haven't had one so far.
I'm going to say they haven't even come close.
Not even close, no. They'll never run the event again.
No. So Jimmy Sloan there on the inside, I can see, ready to hit his watch as he, an area AC athlete.
That's kind of interesting. Martin Cox, the unattached runner in this one, he's got a personal best of 15:06, but he's a target time of 15:30. So obviously a man who's coming in thinking, yeah, look, I'll just get out and get a good effort in, and
not in the shape and be like,
exactly, yeah. And you never know. So he looks like he's gone to the front. If he is wearing that black vest, is that 400 or is that Oran O'Hare?
Foyle Valley, and then looks like Matthew Willis then in second place. Yeah, big Lagan Valley, yeah.
Big contingent North Belfast Harriers in this one, so they'll be hoping the quantity turns into quality.
Yeah, the last 7 or 8 athletes, they're all Annandale Striders, North Belfast Harriers athletes. Leading third there as well as an Annandale Striders man, the red shorts, he looks like he's moving quite well. But Matthew Willis there in second, nice easy stride. The Lagan Valley man, the blue kind of zebra type setup, or zebra some might say. Yeah. That's John Maroney there from Galway City Harriers there in fourth place. Looks like a GCH vest. So the field is all stuck together at the moment. No one has shown their cards early yet anyway. Kind of expected to see Stenson there, the half marathoner, to hit the front, but nothing so far from him. So Chris Hutchinson there in third place, the Annandale Strider wearing the sunglasses. They're all pretty bunched together anyway, so early stages, full crowd there See Gareth Hill from Ballymena and Antrim in the middle of the group there, being a real stalwart of athletics. I've had many's a battle with that fellow over 800 metres at IMCs.
Back in the late 90s,
Yeah. Still battling away.
I think he seems to be getting younger as well. I don't think he's actually aged. There's something going on there. Probably some sort of moisturising routine.
That's it, yeah. Mark Kirk doing wonders with his teeth and stuff like that, you know.
I'm suspect of him anyway, you know. And we've got John Maroney there in fourth there. He's got a glorious mullet as well, which you'll see as he comes around into the home straight. Just there in the white vest with the red shorts.
It's not going to be any faster than the first K of the last race, but it's whether they can sustain this throughout. So they're going to be around 306, 307 there for the first kilometre. And just the leading three, just in the back of that group, Chris Hutchinson just a couple of metres lead, but one of the North Belfast Harriers athletes just comes past the Galway City Harrier athlete just to make sure that gap doesn't open up. So long way to go, but it looks like we could have a great race in prospect here.
Yeah, it looks like I think that's Lawrence O'Hara there that's in fourth place. The diminutive athlete there from North Belfast Harriers, I think, has gone up into fourth place. So while this pace is pretty similar to the last race at the front, we do have pretty much everyone still involved. So we could see a couple of quick laps. That previous race did kind of struggle a little bit in the middle. So Cairns is kind of an outlier in comparison to everyone else, whereas in this one everyone's still in the mix so far. But only a few laps to the good.
So it looks like Oran O'Hare from Foyle Valley is the leader, from Matthew Willis, from Chris Hutchinson.
I think there could be Ryan Smith there, then back the second Annandale Strider. There's two of them in this one, Chris Hutchinson, and I think that is Ryan Smith then just back in sixth.
Yeah, and then Jimmy Sloan from Newry AC just joins that leading group. Anytime there's a little bit of a gap, somebody from back in the field just closes it again, and then they group all bunch up together.
Yeah, some lovely even running here from Oran O'Hare there. He's a lovely stride and kind of keeping his arms close to his chest, but below the hips, certainly moving well. He's even got a little small bit of a gap there on Willis, but not enough to really cause any distress behind him. But Hutchinson there in third is running well as well. He's kind of closing that gap. Willis, the younger athlete here from Lagan Valley. But everyone's still together. There's two men trailing off the back at the moment. One of them being, I think, David McNeely from Newcastle and District.
Yeah, so great to see real competitive races within races, everyone making sure that they're able to cover every move. But it's not a mega fast pace by any means. It looks like it's going to be more tactical than fast here. This second one, I can't see anyone running the 15-10s or the sub-15s that they were looking to run. So we'll see now they come up past the 200 metre mark. They'll be at 2,000 metres. He's led from the start, the Foyle Valley athlete Oran O'Hare. Chris Hutchinson from Annandale Striders just tucked in behind him. So they go through 2,000 in 6:12. So 3:06, 3:06.
Yeah, lovely even running from Oran O'Hare and said Hutchinson and the second man there from Annandale, Ryan Smith. They are getting a little tiny bit of a gap on Willis there, who does seem to be struggling a little bit, with those Annandale men in second and third taking closer order on Oran O'Hare, who's, as I said, been leading from the start and running really well at the moment and very consistently throughout. But these three, that gap once again closed. That's Lawrence O'Hare there from North Belfast Harriers, and Ryan Maroney then from John Maroney from Galway City Harriers there in the taller athlete in the white and red, just taking a closer look on proceedings there, making sure that he's with the rest of the group. 7 laps to go, so getting into the we'll see this field break apart, I think, over the next 2-3 laps.
So John Maroney fourth, I think it's Brandon McKeown from Annandale Striders in third, Annandale Striders Chris Hutchinson in second, and then Oran O'Hare Foyle Valley in the lead. But Gareth Hill just at the back of that group, just covering every move then as well. So what, 10-12 athletes in that leading bunch?
Yeah, certainly. You see Matthew Willis there is from Langham Valley, who was in second for most of the races, just dropping off the back of that. He's dropping like a stone out of the back of that pack there, but just trying to hang on a little bit over this couple of laps. But really big group there, and this could be a cracking finish even for the lesser placings. We could see some serious battles here, all these men still involved. And obviously the regular North Belfast Harriers bragging rights as well that we'll see with this many men in the race, who can get the W over their clubmates. Athlete from North Down there on the inside as well. It's kind of snuck up on us. That looks like Sean McLaughlin.
Yeah, he's just come out of nowhere. So when you see the sea of yellow there, it's difficult to see who's snaking in.
Yeah, a lot of North Down lads masquerading as North Belfast Harriers. Hard to tell.
So at 6:12 they're bang on 15:30 pace, and I suspect that this race will actually get faster. So we're hoping for somewhere in the low 15:20s if possible. We'll get the 3,000 metre split when they come around the next time to pass the finish. Just up right on the shoulder now, Chris Hutchinson on the outside. Oran O'Hare on the inside, and now we have seen that move there.
Sean McLaughlin from North Down, yeah. So Oran O'Hare is led from the gun, and he's being passed out by Hutchinson and McLaughlin, and these 3 athletes are now trying to break away from the field here. Oran O'Hare has got a little bit of a gap back to Maroney there from Galway City Harriers, but certainly McLaughlin, when he went to the front, he means business here now with 5 laps to go, so 2k left to run, and he's telling Chris Hutchinson to go by him or go back at this stage, but a little bit of a kind of communication there from McLaughlin with 5 laps to go. So Hutchinson in second.
So 9:20 through 3,000, so that dropped to a 3:08. Still pretty consistent. I'd say he felt that this was easing off a bit, and he pushed it on. So Sean McLaughlin now, and Chris Hutchinson hasn't wanted to be in the front or hasn't led at any stage, but he's tucked in behind the whole time, and he's covered that move. So it's North Down from Annandale Striders, and now it's in third place from Galway City Harriers, John Maroney. Jimmy Sloan from Fury AC has always been there or thereabouts in that group, and now he's putting himself up onto the shoulder of the Galway City Harrier athlete.
And Gareth Hill as well taking closer order, and there's a North Belfast Harriers athlete in there, a very slight athlete coming up on the outside as well of that group. But have they left a little bit too much of a gap there? They're going to have to work together to try and get up to Hutchinson and McLaughlin, who've certainly put paid to the rest of the field at the moment. But it is the man from North Belfast Harriers who is 3:99, who's Gavin McCaffrey, and he's hoping to run 14:50 today. He's around 15:12 on the road this season, so looks like he's got plenty of running in the legs as well. He's going to try and go after Hutchinson and McLaughlin here, who are in the lead.
Yeah, well, 15:12 on the road, you would expect that he has enough in the tank to try and close that down. And then Jimmy Sloan from Newry AC just tucked in behind him. It's North Down AC from Annandale Striders from Newry AC on the outside in third place, just moving into third. Jimmy Sloan from Gavin McCaffrey, North Belfast Harriers.
There's a bit of a turbocharged effort there from McLaughlin on the back straight, but he almost seemed to. There must be a little bit of wind blowing across the field there, because he almost came to a stop as he went to turn the corner. But Hutchinson got into second place, and Sloan then making the charge there with the North Belfast Harriers athlete as well. The two of them trying to work together, Gavin McCaffrey. So they're trying to get up to these leaders here who have 3 laps left to run. So still plenty to go, and Hutchinson looks full of running. He's got a grimace in his face, but he's certainly running well.
Yeah, he let a gap of 4 or 5 metres open there, and then he closed it again. He does look to be working hard, but
he looks like a man who's a tough man.
Yeah.
Tough man to drop.
I wouldn't be saying it to his face.
No, from this distance of 150 metres, I can talk all I like about Chris Hutchinson.
Look down that back straight now, and actually Sean McLaughlin looks to be working the harder of the two there. But look at Jimmy Sloan now in third place. He's looks to be full of running. Gavin McCaffrey, North Belfast Harriers in behind him, and then the master himself, Gareth Hill, used to be an 800 metre run, then a 1500 metre run, now 5,000.
You would not want Gareth Hill, I suspect, on your shoulder with 150 metres left to run, so they'll be hoping to stay well away from him. But he's making his way up through the field here. He's not ever shown his cards whatsoever in this race. We're coming up now with 2 laps left to run, so he'll feel maybe more at home with that distance, but he's certainly making up the yards on these boys. And can he make it up into third place at least? McLaughlin, running very, very well here at the front.
It looks as though those between the two of them. I can hear Chris Hutchinson shouting with the grimace in there. He's working so hard. He just has not let McLaughlin out of his sight there, but it is absolutely killing him. He's sort of looking over both shoulders to see is there anyone near him, but they've about a 30 metre lead, the two of them, so it looks as though it's between these two. McLaughlin leads it from North Down, from Hutchinson in second place, Sloan third from Uri AC, then in fourth McCaffrey from North Belfast Harriers, Gareth Hill then Ballymena and Antrim in 5, 600 metres to go.
Yeah, I don't think Hill is going to feature here, but Jimmy Sloan looks like he's got plenty of running left now. He's probably left too much of a gap to Hutchinson and McLaughlin, who are still rolling well and don't seem to be under too much pressure at the moment. And Hutchinson, with that kind of aggressive style, is losing a little bit of ground on McLaughlin here, and you know he's hurting, but he's looking around him now to make sure he's got a little bit of a gap on third place. But it's going to be an interesting battle here with a lap to go. Hutchinson gets up onto his shoulder again. You can hear that tennis serve type shout that he's doing.
It's just around the water jump every lap. He seems to lose 4 or 5 metres, then gets it up the home straight. 14.18 at the bell, so a 70-second lap needed to break 15.30. You can see Jimmy Sloan has given it a right go here in third place, but the gap looks to be way too far to make any impact on the leaders. Down the back straight, McLaughlin from Hutchinson, 2:50 to go. McLaughlin's led. Hutchinson has sat in second place the whole race. They have 14.53, so 37 seconds to come home. They should be well sub 15.30. Right, bring it home from the steeplechase there, Ronan.
Yeah, you can see there McLaughlin there is just holding them off, and Hutchinson is trying absolutely everything. The kitchen sink has already been thrown at him. He's going around all the other houses to get kitchen sinks and throw them at this stage. He's coming into the home straight. He's into the lane of high hopes there. There are two boys locked here together as best they can, but it looks like it's going to be McLaughlin, but Hutchinson certainly won't give up. But McLaughlin is going to get the win here, and he does it in 15.26. And Hutchinson, a heroic performance for second. Jimmy Sloan then in third. McCaffrey up for fourth, and it looks like Gareth Hill then in fifth place, and our other Annandale strider then coming up for sixth place. That looks like Brendan McKeown. Maroney in seventh.
Looks like Sloan around 15.31, and then McCaffrey around 15.34.
You certainly couldn't fault Hutchinson's effort there, in fairness to the man. He said he was not a man you could drop very easily, I suspect, until he locks in.
You described it perfectly. He was like a man serving in tennis each time, with a big grunt every time he passed us here.
See the man from Newcastle and District getting up there. I think that's David McNeely.
Brian Smith then from Annandale Striders. from Brendan McCambridge, North Belfast Harriers then. So he's just going to be over 16:30 then for Brendan McCambridge, 16:32.
Yeah, it's a really nice running there, even down the field. Guys still running under 16:30 there, so really strong performances here in this afternoon of 5Ks, organised by the host club here, North Belfast Harriers. But I think that's been my the best race of the day so far.
Yeah. That's what you want, a race to the line.
I suspect Hutchison's going to be running like a 4-mile road race tomorrow. He's got that kind of that vibe to him that he'll be out again tomorrow.
Yeah, he's got wobbly legs anyway down there waiting for the interview. That's what you want to do. You want to leave it all out in the track.
Winner Sean McLaughlin, and second was Chris Hutchison. Guys, it was hot out there. Sean?
Yeah, hot. On a day like that you would throw water before you start the race. Didn't expect it to be as hot this time of year, but good, nice conditions, and I love the track. It's always
that's three of the races down.
What was the plan going into this?
Well, it's quite simple really. 15:30, which is 74.
Test.
So the watch the vibrate at 74.
Okay.
If you're not on pace, if it's too slow, then you speed up. If it's too fast, then you slow down, and then you just stick to it. Yeah.
And you came in 15:28, roughly, was it?
No, I think it's a bit quicker. 26, something like that. Yeah. So you behind me, was it?
And Chris, well done, second place there. A great race, guys, for both of you. Chris, how did that go with you as far as the plan's concerned?
I was hoping to get pretty close to 15:30, to be honest. And similar to Sean, if the group went at that pace, I'd go that pace. I didn't really want to go on my own because there's a wee bit of wind about, and don't want to spend too much time in the wind and end up ninth. So Sean kindly led me around for most of it, and then had a better kick at the end. So fair play to him.
Same for you, Sean.
In terms of the plan, well, yeah, it's 74s, and then I mean, it was dropping off a little bit, so there's some sun cream or something in my eye, but if it was dropping off a little bit, so they just speed up. And that was it really, and then one person went with me.
But it does help having someone to be with you round, 12 and a half laps. It's not easy, you know.
No, it's 5Ks, 5,000 is good. Like that, it's over before you know it, and it's also really hard and suffering. It's just 12 and a half laps of suffering. Yeah, thanks for the chase.
No prisoners out there, is it?
No, I just tried to latch on as a toe to stare at the back of his head. Don't even look at the watch because it doesn't matter. Just try and keep the back of his head in the sights. See what I had left the last 100, but maybe a slightly dirty way to race, but didn't have enough anyway. So.
And what about the build up to this, Sean? How's it been, preparation?
Yeah, really good. I think. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, very good. A lot of track work with Francis in North Down, a lot of speed work, and if that's what 3:06 pace or something per k. So if you're used to running at 2:40 pace, then 3:06 pace feels easier. You know what I mean? So training above race pace, so it's always worked very well for me, and the amateur athlete, so balancing all my disciplines, and preparation's been pretty good. This week, just really dropped the intensity and just some strides, and good, seemed to work okay.
Chris, what about you?
Traditionally I would have done longer stuff, but I've moved down this year a wee bit. I'm quite enjoying running really hard. I was fortunate enough to be on holiday until Tuesday, so probably not ideal.
I thought you had a bit of a tan there.
Exactly, yeah. A wee bit of Florida, early morning Florida work before the steam park, so can't complain really. It's not all bad.
Good man. And then going forward, what's the plan going forward? What are you aiming for this summer?
Well, I'd like to do well at the see how I go with the national championships triathlon. I think I don't know, I could do pretty well. I'd like to say I'd be around the top 5 or 10, so I don't want to jinx myself, but based on times and numbers of other athletes, that would be the objective there. And then the 10,000, I'd like to do 31 something 10,000 10k, and then half marathon, 800, whatever. Bring it, whatever.
Yeah, see what happens. And Chris, what about you?
I would love to break 15 or maybe break 32 for the 10 and then probably move back up the distance. Not getting any younger. It'd be nice to log fast times before get on to full-time jogging again.
Well, listen, guys, congratulations. Thanks for taking part in this North Belfast 5000s, and you're obviously welcome to come back again next year whenever we do it again. Thank you, guys. Thanks.
Thank you for coming in.
Yeah, great.
Cheers.
Cheers.
That was great, wasn't it?
Harriers, that was 15:34. Second, Aaron Woodman, 15:51. Tom Crudgington from Newcastle District, 15:56. Then back to Oisin Cassidy, 16:08, and Daniel Malloy, Newcastle District, 16:11. So they're the top 5 in that one. And if you want to check those results, you can get them on the North Belfast Harriers Twitter page. Up next in this men's C race, we've got Cahill Purvis from North Belfast Harriers, John Black, North Belfast Harriers, Sean Malarkey, City of Derry Spartans AC, Owen Carlton from Annandale Striders, James Monaghan from St Peter's AC, Finlay Ross Davey from Garscoop Harriers, Conor Gallagher from St Malachy's AC, Conor McCann from North Belfast Harriers. He may be wearing a Cardiff vest, we're not 100% sure on that one. Fionton Campbell, North Belfast Harriers, Kyle Thompson from Lockview AC, Johnny Spratt from Annandale Striders, Cameron Stewart from Annandale Striders, Timothy Johnston from Morn Runners, and Liam Mulligan from Drogheda District. I believe they're calling this the John Black 5K, is that correct? Sponsored by John Black.
Sponsored by John Black, organised by John Black, coached by the great Jim McGuinness.
This is true, yes. Yeah.
One of the fastest sub 4 minute milers from Northern Ireland.
So he was up here on telling us not to talk about him, but I think we should mention him probably once a lot. Maybe have a kind of John Black cam, separate camera.
He's going for 15:20. Let's see. Can he prove his fans?
He was actually the only athlete not to fill out his form here to tell us what his personal best work, which is poor enough really from John. He might have been busy.
I'll say one of the other organisers, Seamus McCann, will be cheering on his son Conor McCann. So it'll be a great battle between the two boys.
Seamus, of course, 7:47 indoors and sub 4 minute miler to boot, so no pressure on Conor here, who was instead of talking about wearing a Cardiff vest earlier on, and was also wearing a bucket hat up here earlier on as well, which was quite the style, I'd say. Best dress so far. A big field again in this one. Got Owen Carlton in there as well, coached by Eamon Christie, and interestingly James Monaghan there, he's an air traffic controller, so will he be at the front directing operations?
That's it, yeah, telling you whether you can go past him or not. Fantastic venue here in Mary Peters track. Used to come here as a kid to the Gyrobank games back in the day, and you would have the banks just full of people. Wouldn't see any green.
Yeah, certainly it's like an amphitheatre down here. It's a cracking venue.
Yeah, the athletes just passed the Mary Peters statue up there at the top.
Here last summer, and Mary Peters was here, and she said to Emer McKee, "I'm the lady in this. I'm the statue," which was a great line.
So it's Kyle Thompson from Lockview leads out Liam Mulligan from Drogheda District. So again, everybody here looking to run in or around the 15 to 15:30.
Certainly big field here, and plenty of athletes trying to run that time, low 15 minutes.
Yeah, field well strung out actually as well in the very early stages, so it looks as though it's an honest pace.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to be running around 71, 72 seconds. So
yeah, 72 for the first 4.
The man Liam Mulligan there in second place from Drogheda District, I think. 15.
John Glover, the trackside commentator, calls 73, so we'll go with the wise man of John Glover and say it was a 73 second first 400 running.
Yeah, so decent pace for these boys, and it's a big field here, and plenty of athletes trying to run in that low 15-minute range. So a lot of athletes with very similar standards. That's 387 at the front there. That is Kyle Thompson from Lockview, AC.
So a lot of our younger athletes, Kyle Thompson, we've seen him run at the National Indoor Juveniles earlier in the year.
That's Finlay Ross Davey there in third place from Garscoob Harriers. It's a white with the kind of blue vest there, then gone down to fourth place.
Yeah, the St. Malachy's vest. That's the first St. Malachy's vest I think we've seen today, is it? And just as you called him out there, he tripped. Let's see, Fionn Campbell from North Belfast Harriers here, ex-St. Malachy's student. I was his team coach at the school's cross-country relays when they were in Santry a few years ago. So I'll be looking for him to do well today.
Yeah, he's an athlete that a lot of the schools up here they transfer across in their to sixth form. I remember Fionn Campbell being in St. Malachy's and being extremely worried because obviously such a good athlete. I think he went on to school Belfast Metropolitan or something like that, which is you're crossing your fingers hoping that they're going into sixth form. Yeah. That's the man from Lockview AC there, City of Derry Spartans. Then that is Sean Malarkey gone into second place. So plenty of athletes here. There's kind of a gap of there's 5 athletes there. Look like they're making a little bit of a gap on the Annandale man.
Yeah, so Sean's brother Peter ran the first 5,000 today. But it's the Lockview athlete. He's happy to take it out. Feel well strung out, but no real break in the field. Liam Mulligan has come on hugely in the last couple of years, the Drogheda District athlete. Big cohort of athletes, as I mentioned earlier on, under Ian O'Reilly, both the younger athletes and the masters that he coaches there in Drogheda District.
Yeah, he's running well there. He's just in fourth place, so they're moving quite well here, this group. 5-6 athletes at the very front, and then a group of Annandale and North Belfast athletes just in behind that, all running quite well together there. But the Lockview man has been passed out now by City of Derry Spartans AC's Sean Malarkey. He's gone into the lead. St. Malachy's man then Conor Gallagher there in second place. Gallagher has ran 15:57, but he's hoping to run in around that 16 minutes, he says here, but I suspect it'll be a hell of a lot faster today.
So they're all in single file in a train. Got our 2 Annandale striders, just Johnny Spratt and Owen Carlton, just in that second group. Looks as though 4 of them are just beginning to open. There's Fionn Campbell is just trying to close the gap on the leading 4. And it's Sean Malarkey leading them out.
Our man from Lockview Harriers seems to have I'm too sure if he's sitting back there in 6th place now, so I thought he almost got lost a fair bit of ground there, so they obviously picked up the pace a little bit. The man from North Belfast Harriers there in 5th place is starting to close that gap there. He knows that he can't let those boys move away from him. A good group here at the front.
Yeah, Conor Gallagher on the outside, and then Sean Malarkey, he's moved again into the front. Liam Mulligan in 3rd.
That's Campbell there in 5th place. The North Belfast Harrier, he seems to have closed that gap now, so it looks like we've got a group of 5 that have made their way away from that Annandale Striders group there.
The trio.
Still all fairly really stuck together at this stage.
Yeah, a long way to go, coming up to 2,000 metres. Last race was 6:12 at 2,000. The race before that at 6:09. And these athletes in the C go through in 6:04. So we're on good, decent pace here.
Yeah, all very much in single file. You know that the pace is to their liking at this stage, because they're all pretty happy with how things are going. They're one man off the back of the field, but everyone else still very much involved. A little bit of a gap there behind Fionn Campbell to the Annandale troop.
Only 6 or 7 seconds, I'd say, between that whole group of athletes. Still led out by Sean Malarkey, City of Derry. St Malachy's Conor Gallagher in second, Liam Mulligan third.
Campbell at the back of that group, and the Garscoop Harriers man as well, Finlay Ross Davey as well, just there in a 4th place, recovered from that early fall or early stumble. Johnny Spratt then being overtaken in that kind of Annandale battle there, as the taller gentleman from Annandale is making his way up there onto the back of that group, so closing that gap. That's John Black there at the back of that group there as well, so
9 of them.
He's hoping to represent there today, one of the race organisers, so he's had a busy day, I'm sure.
Still Sean Malarkey, City of Derry. Conor Gallagher, St Malachy's in 2nd place, Liam Mulligan in 3rd, Garscoop Harriers, Finlay Ross Davey in 4th, and Fionn Campbell in 5.
It's a really strong performance here at the front from the City of Derry Spartans AC man, Sean Malarkey, and at 2nd place athlete then Conor Gallagher then from St Malachy's AC. These two are working well together into that win, so the group has really come together again. John Black just off the back of that group, but everyone else there pretty much moving back together again with 6 laps to go, so it's starting to bunch up a little bit. Malarkey still in the lead, Gallagher in 2nd. Our Drogheda District man Liam Mulligan then, he'll be hoping he doesn't have to have a mulligan here and have another go at this later on, just the one effort. Finlay then in 3rd place, and the tall athlete from Annandale, not too sure you have an eye on him.
That is Owen Carlton now. He moved up wide coming down the home straight there, and then he bided his time, but now he's moved to the front.
Yeah, coached by Eamon Christie is Owen Carlton. He's hoping to run 15:30 is his predicted time.
Well inside that at the minute. Get the 3,000 metre split when they come up in another 100 metres.
Yeah, he says he once tried a beer mile with chocolate milk and it nearly killed him, so he's obviously been through the wars. He's been through a lot.
Should have tried it with beer.
Yeah. Much easier, yeah. But he's leading here.
Conor Gallagher on his shoulder, Sean Malarkey in behind him, so 9:10. So it was a 3:06 last kilometre. And these four now just beginning to open up a little bit of a gap here. So our leader, Owen Carlton from Annandale Striders. In behind him then Conor Gallagher from St Malachy's. And then we have Sean Malarkey from City of Derry AC Spartans. And then Garscoop Harriers, Finlay Ross Davey in 4th place. And they've opened up a significant gap over Fionn Campbell then in 5th.
Yeah, certainly looks like a breakaway here with 4.5 laps to go. These men have been always near the front, with the exception of Carlton, who's really only gone there over the last 800 metres or so as he engaged with the race really. But these four have made their way away from the rest of the group, and 4 and 3 don't go in terms of the medals if they're being handed out in this one. So these lads will be really going for that these last couple of laps. Coming up now with a mile to go, so we're really into the difficult part of the race here now, and these lads will be steeling themselves for these last couple of laps.
I could be totally wrong. I think Conor Gallagher and maybe Finlay Ross Davey look the two easiest of them at the moment.
That's Malarkey gone to the front there as well, and Carlton there, the taller athlete, just on the inside. So they are very well bunched together, and Carlton must feel in good shape here as he came to the front over those last couple of laps.
You see them bunching together like that, it's as though they just slow down a little bit. It looks as though Malarkey moved to the front, slowed it down a bit, and then you can see the chasing group just beginning to close in on them again.
Yeah, and I see John Black is still hanging out in that second group as well. He's yet to be dropped off the back of that group, so he'll be happy enough with his performance so far. But it is Malarkey at the front, and that group is very much bunched up now, and someone really has to take a shot at this here with 3.5 laps left to run. Everyone thinks they've got a finishing kick until they don't. Just a tall athlete there in 5th place.
Looks like a lucky best, but I don't think it is. But I think the leaders are beginning to let the chasing group just close in on them slightly.
Could be Timothy Johnston from Mourne Runners is the possibility, or James Monaghan from St. Peter's. Too sure of the vest now at this moment.
I'll let you know coming up the home straight. But the 4 of them, as they were a lap ago, side by side. Malarkey on the inside, Gallagher on the outside.
That is James Monaghan there in 5th place. And he's closing that gap there, the air traffic controller from St. Peter's AC. He's taking the closer order here now over these last couple of laps, 3 laps to go. Very hard pressed to figure out a winner from this one.
This looks like it's the finish of the day. Coming up just over 1100 metres to go. And it does look as though Owen Carleton could be struggling there. We can see James Monaghan now joins that leading group. Conor Gallagher is pushing it on here, and then right on the outside of him then Finlay Ross Davey, and then he moves into 2nd place. Now 5 of them bunched together. The 2 Annandale Striders boys then trying to make it 7.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to end up with a smaller group here. Well, these Annandale boys are running well here and looking to attach themselves to that pack again. So it's going to be a serious battle here over with 2 laps to go. How many? 7 guys still in the mixer here.
Yeah, pace seems to have slowed to let them all back into contention here, and then Carleton decides he's going to go for it again here. So Finlay Ross Davey from Owen Carleton, the 2 leaders, beginning to open up 3, maybe 4 metres, but look at the move by the air traffic controller. Swoops down, swoops in behind them. So St. Peter's James Monaghan into 3rd place now. St. Malachy's Conor Gallagher in 4th, Malarkey in 5.
As we panic as the Annandale Strider there has come from 7th to 8th place, and now he's up into 4th place, so we'll get a name on him, but he's taken much closer order and looks to have plenty of running left in the legs, but it is still Carleton in the lead. Finlay Ross Davey, and our worst fears are confirmed here as that Annandale Strider goes into the lead. We'll just figure out exactly who that is.
Well, I'm going to say it's either Cameron Stewart or Johnny Spratt.
I think it's Cameron Stewart if I was to take a guess at it.
Yeah, Cameron Stewart has really opened up that. You see the gap from 1st to 6th has moved to about 15 metres in the space of 150 metres.
This is going to be a fantastic race here from Cameron Stewart. If that is him, he's got a 15:38 PB on the road, but he's starting getting stuck in here.
Oh, it's Johnny Spratt in the lead, but he hasn't been able to shake off the 2 in behind him. Finlay Ross Davey in 2nd place, and then James Monaghan in 3rd.
Yeah, Spratt running really well here with 300 metres left to run, but he can't shake off Finlay Ross Davey or Monaghan there. James Monaghan, who's running really well, the long striding athlete there, who's taking much closer order coming down the back straight, but it is Spratt still in the lead just for the moment. Monaghan getting onto his shoulder. It's going to be 200 metres left to run here, Fenton, and it is going to be some battle up the home straight here between Spratt and Monaghan, and Ross Davey is struggling a little bit, but it looks like Spratt's gone into the lead here. Can Monaghan get up onto his shoulder here?
Yeah, so just over 150 metres to go. They're going to be in or around 15-20 or so. Spratt has kicked for home again. He did this in the last lap and opened up a bit of a gap, and Monaghan closed down him. Here comes Davey now on the outside. But it's Spratt, the really short stride, low knee lift, but it's very effective here. He's moving away 10-15 metres clear then of Davey in 2nd, Monaghan 3rd, Carleton 4, and that's it. Malachy's Gallagher 5, John Black then I think in 7th place there. So Finlay Campbell comes over at 15:30, so that was a really, really good race.
Yeah, cracking finish there, and Spratt sprung from the pack there with maybe 2.5 laps left to run, and was kind of putting himself amongst the leaders then, and what a last 600 metres from him. Really, really well judged from Spratt, so I'd say he'll be absolutely loving that. Monaghan then in the mix as well. And Finlay Ross Davey was very much involved throughout the race, always in that lead pack, then getting up for that second place. So cracking race there from those boys.
Yeah, I just didn't get the winning time there, but I'd say it was sub 15:20 or in or around that.
I think it was around 15:12. That's complete nonsense, just in my mind. So that'll be the quickest run of the day. Sean McLaughlin winning earlier on in the D race with that 15:26, just for in front of Chris Hutchinson and Jimmy Sloan. So
Claire Purvis just comes across in around 16:30.
Really strong performance here. You can see that even down the placings, boys are still running really well. I'm going to chat to our race winner here, Johnny Spratt.
Johnny Spratt, Annadale Striders, followed by Finlay Ross Davey from Garscube Harriers in Glasgow. How did that go for you, Johnny?
Tight finish, just tucked in, tried to cruise for as long as I could, and then just saw the pace drop a wee bit at the end and just kicked it in. But it was good.
It's hot out there.
It was warm, yeah.
Good man. And Finlay, all the way over from Glasgow. How did that work? Was there a plan? Did you have a plan going into this?
And my plan was just to sort of keep consistent around like 15-20 pace and then just see what happened in the final couple of laps. So I think I did that kind of decently, but I was just sort of sticking behind the front pack, and then he comes out of nowhere. It's actually a pretty big sprint finish, but no, it was good. I enjoyed it.
And it's hot out there, isn't it?
Really super hot.
No prisoners, guys.
No, you know,
no way to hide.
Legs were feeling good at the end there, so just good.
And you did hang it. You waited, and then all of a sudden, when did you go 400?
I think I got to I can't remember, it was a bit of a blur, but I think it was 600 to go. I felt the pace just drop down. The lap splits were getting, it was getting slower, so just felt good. So
good man. How's preparation been for you?
It's been good. Thankfully injury free and really good cross country season. No, it's been good.
Yeah, it sets you up well, the cross country season, doesn't it?
Definitely. 100%.
And what's the plan going forward from here for the summer?
I've only signed up to the Irish Milers, and I'm looking at Buncrana 5k, but that's it. Just keep on working.
And was it PB today?
But track PB was 16:09 from the end of last year, so
a minute nearly off that.
Yeah.
Good man. What about yourself, PB?
Yeah, my PB last year was 15:35, so not as much as him, but a good chunk off.
Good man. Well, guys, congratulations, and thanks for taking part in the North Belfast 5000s. Always a pleasure, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Great, thanks. Well done.
Good work.
So we're back here. We've got a B race coming up very shortly, but I'll give you those D race results. We've got Sean McLaughlin from Northdown AC getting the win at 15:26. Chris Hutchinson 15:26, just behind that from Annadale Striders. Jimmy Sloan from Newry AC in third place, 15:31. Gavin McCaffrey 15:34, and Gareth Hill 15:40. So we had 9 men under 16 minutes in that one. Oran O'Hare, the notable one who led from early doors, running 15:47. So you can get those results on the North Belfast Harriers Twitter page. But a really strong running so far. Good C race there. Winner was Johnny Spratt, and we've got a cracking B race coming up now shortly as well.
I'll tell you something for nothing, Ronan. Sitting up here, Baltic in the stands, and then you look across at the back straight, and all the people sitting up on the hill in the sun. Yeah.
Are you going to leave me, Finton? We'll know now if Finton goes to play. We'll know where he is. We'll spot him with the old oil out over there in the back straight.
Yeah.
Tops off. So really good race coming up for us here now in the B race as well.
So just seen Eamon Christie come up and meet us here. So another fantastic event here in early May at the Belfast Irish Milers event. Some Olympic qualifying standards here at the meet last year in the Alex Bell in the 800 metres. So expect another fantastic event next month.
Yeah, we're getting our good selves. Thank God I shaved. You know.
Yeah,
it's key. Ourselves on camera. You know. And Fintan, you got the old fake tan on this morning, did you?
I was away on holidays and I got absolutely scalded, would you believe?
Oh, yeah?
So a few days ago that would have been just pure peeling.
You've been through the most difficult part now. Yeah, you're onto the home straight, as they say, you know. But no, this B-race coming up, it's going to be a really, really strong race. I would suspect we've got some good names in there. You can see even the likes of Stephen Fay in there as well. Very topical at the moment with his brother Brian running 13-16 there recently. So
yeah, up against Owen McElhinney, who's got a decent brother as well.
Exactly, yeah. All the way from Bantry. So he's had a fair old trip today. If he's made the trip, I'll get you the full starting list there. He has in fact made the trip, so fair play to him. That is quite the journey.
A lot of athletes here probably a couple of years ago would have been in the A race, like John Paul Williamson, former, I'm going to say, intermediate national champion, cross country champion, and Adam Kirk-Smith, also I suppose more steeple chaser than anything else, but we've seen him run a lot of cross country races in the last number of years as well.
Yeah, the man who's been to the Commonwealth Games, so plenty of ability there over the years, but certainly someone who will be amongst the mix here. Lovely style.
Owen Totten, as we mentioned earlier on, likes a wee hill or two, Owen.
The next one. Okay.
So the results coming thick and fast here. So Johnny Spratt, you weren't too far off. Johnny Spratt winning that in 15:13:01 from Finlay. Ross Davey from Garscoop Harriers in 15:14, and then James Monaghan in St Peter's 15:16. Owen Carlton Annandale Striders in 15:19. Conor Gallagher St Malachy's 15:22. Sean Malarkey City of Derry AC Spartans just getting in sub 15:23 with 15:22.99. John Black not far off what he said he was going to run, 15:23.95. Good run there. Cameron Stewart Annandale Striders 15:25.82. Jonathan Campbell from North Belfast Harriers 15:31. Timothy Johnson Moran Runners 15:33. Liam Mulligan Drogheda District 15:39. Kyle Thompson Lockview 15:54. Conor McCann North Belfast Harriers 16:14, and Carr Purvis from North Belfast Harriers 16:32.
Good performances here. We've got our men's B-race on the track now, so we've got a good field here. John Paul Williamson, he's unattached. Owen Totten from Newcastle District. Gavin Corey from Strive Racing Club. And we have Gary Crummy from Newry AC. We've got David Troy from Dublin Track Club. Luke Dinsmore from Annandale Striders. Owen McElhinney all the way from Bantry AC, and he'll be coming from Glengarriff as well, so even further. And Stephen Fay from Raheny. Matthew Lavery from North Belfast Harriers, Mark Nixon from Edinburgh AC, Adam Kirk-Smith from Derry Track Club, Kane Collins from Dunor Harriers, and finally Stephen Connolly from Annandale Striders. So quite the field.
Off we go, off like the clappers. And it's gas looking for position in the early stages, and then it just totally slows down. 12.5 laps.
Looks like Adam Kirk-Smith has gone straight to the lead anyway. Just there on the outside. And I'm sure I could have my eyes closed here and I could assume that Owen Totten has gone to the lead.
Owen Totten's on the inside, Adam Kirk-Smith on the outside. Many's a time I've seen Adam Kirk-Smith come across the hill in Abbottstown, the cross country, leading the race for the first couple of laps. Very easy to spot that running style of Adam Kirk-Smith. So Owen Totten with the baseball cap from Adam Kirk-Smith.
You can see there Kirk Smith, with that kind of unique style there, just in second place. Owen Totten in the lead, and gets Owen McElhenney there just back in fourth, I think. So a couple of guys as well from David Troy from Dublin Track Club and Stephen Fay as well from Raheny, both training partners. So two boys in this one running well.
So we have a few of them here looking to run mid-14s here. Again, it's extremely windy here. It's hard to see because there's no flags blowing anywhere, but it's really, really windy.
And I think that wind's actually kicked up as well, Finton, even in the last 10 minutes or so.
Still Owen Totten from Adam Kirk-Smith.
See Edinburgh AC man there coming up on the outside.
Yeah, Mark Nixon then into third place.
And then McElhenney there, I think, in fourth place.
That's Gary Crummy from Newry, I think. And then Owen McElhenney. Very similar singlets, all right.
It's not going to confuse us. We have Annandale Striders in there as well. We have two. I think there'll be Luke Dinsmore, and we also have Stephen Connolly in there as well. Both well capable of this pace, so they'll be getting stuck in.
Owen Totten not known for his kick, but that's why he's gone off at this pace to try and burn the field.
He certainly has, and he's running well there at the front as he always does. And Adam Kirk-Smith, there's probably a small bit of a gap back to that Newry AC man, Gary Crummy. He's hoping to run 14:20 today. The Newry AC guy, he's 14:57 in terms of his personal best, around 14:51 on the road. So he'll be hoping to break 15 minutes here as he just gets passed out by McElhenney. That's 3:6.
I think Owen Totten is 64:15 for the half marathon. He's got like a 2:14 or something marathon, I think, from Dublin a couple of years ago as well. So he is serious engine on him, but he's now back in third place. So he's got the stamina, but does he have the speed to stay with these boys? And it's the Edinburgh AC athlete Mark Nixon really taking it on here. Adam Kirk-Smith on the outside of him. Owen Totten now takes the hat off, throws it away. He means business. Owen McElhenney then in fourth. Gary Crummy in 5. And then really bunched up down in behind. But the leaders, Adam Kirk-Smith, can he hold on to this? We've seen him lead so many races but just not be able to hang on.
Plenty of athletes there in the pack as well. Luke Dinsmore in there from Annandale Striders as well, and so tall athlete David Troy coming off a half marathon PB there as well, about 69 minutes there recently. So plenty of athletes in that group there, kind of a similar standard but coming from maybe different disciplines. With the two boys in front here, plenty of a gap now at this stage. Adam Kirk-Smith and the Edinburgh AC man are running well at the moment. That is Mark Nixon.
Yeah, so Mark Nixon looks over his shoulder to see what the gap is, and then straight away, just a couple of seconds after that, Adam Kirk-Smith does exactly the same, but they have about 10 metres over Owen Totten.
Adam Kirk-Smith always looks like he's pacing Mark Nixon here. He's just looking back at him and making sure that he knows what's going on, and he lets him go by.
Yeah, obviously doesn't want to do the work. Obviously, two of them going to try and work together, but he's spending more time looking over his shoulder than he is focusing on what's on in front of him.
He actually helped my cousin Fionn Harrington there last year in a steeplechase. Said, "Oh, you're going for a certain time for the European Juniors. I'll pace you on the day," which was quite nice.
Low 840s, I think, is he?
Adam Kirk-Smith ran in the low 840s. I don't know if he was just outside 9 minutes pace kind of last year, but certainly well capable of running that fast. Manning up to third there. So he's wearing a Scotland singlet, but I don't believe he is. sure what that singlet is there.
Could be 5 AC's Owen Miller, isn't it? We'll know now when they come back around, because he's just joined the leading group. Adam Kirk-Smith actually waves to some of the spectators over the barriers there, so it looks as though he's actually enjoying his run at the moment.
Let's see this.
Adam Kirk-Smith goes back into the lead there, looks over his shoulder again, not sure what's going on.
He is looking very, very comfortable at the moment, but we've had 2 men join this group, so Owen Totten has fallen back into that second group as Luke Dinsmore gets out of that larger group and starts to make his way up towards that front group, so at least kind of figuring themselves out here now.
It's 5:57 at 2K, so we're sub 15 minute pace at the moment.
Try and get a handle on that. 3:69, I think, and then 3:55. Dinsmore just making his way up to that group. McElhenney leading that secondary group then.
Yes, that's John Paul Williamson then in 4th place, and I was right, as Owen Miller from Fife AC in 3rd, Nixon in 2nd, and Kirk-Smith the leader.
And Owen Miller won the 2021 Paralympic 1500 metre event in Tokyo. He was around 3:52 for 1500 metres, and I believe they call his training group the Ginger Machine, so not 100% sure on the origin of that, but bit of crack anyway for the lads. He's up there in 2nd place.
5 of them pulling clear here.
And again, our pages fly across there. You can see the wind is starting to kick up at every passing moment. So those athletes probably sitting back in 3rd and 4th, they're quite happy with it to see John Paul Williamson struggling there with that inside rail a little bit and throwing his hands up. But these athletes kind of locked together, the 5 of them. Dinsmore there at the back has kind of quietly made his way up there, and he's just sitting in behind Adam Kirk-Smith, having to take that wind alongside the man from Fife AC, Owen Miller.
So Kirk-Smith from Miller, from Williamson.
Totten is back down there battling it out at the moment, so we're struggling a little bit with the pace, having those marathon and half marathons in his legs. But it is the Fife AC man Owen Miller locked with John Paul, or with Adam Kirk-Smith, with John Paul Williamson just behind. Edinburgh AC's athlete then just in behind that. That is Mark Nixon. Luke Dinsmore then gone up to, he's in 5th place, and our other Annandale strider Stephen Connolly then in 6th place. So he'll be amongst it as well. He's looking to run 15 minutes today, so he'll be happy with the pace so far. 15:09 personal best on the road.
So a good idea now, coming up to 3,000 metres when they pass the finish here. Kirk-Smith has been right in the centre of everything from the very start. Miller 2nd, Williamson 3rd. Haven't seen him running well, good to see him back. They're keeping it pretty good, 8:57. The 3-minute last kilometre. So we should be in the 14:50s, because they look to be full of running, these guys. They've just opened up a little bit of a gap over Nixon and Dinsmore.
Connolly just back there in 6th, then just kind of taking closer order, and looks like McElhenney and then just behind that. So good field, a good group here so far. Kirk-Smith still with that kind of very upright style there at the front of the field, and taking the win there for Owen Miller just sitting in behind, and John Paul Williamson then, as I said, they've made a little bit of a gap there back to Mark Nixon, the Edinburgh AC man. Quite a fantastic club with some great accomplishments over the last couple of years. Some brilliant athletes going through, and he's hoping to get the win here. He'll try and make his way up to 3rd in that group. Dinsmore just behind, Connolly behind that, and these 6 look like they've enough of a gap then on the rest of the field.
So Kirk-Smith leads them out. 4 laps to go. From Miller, from JP Williamson, Nixon, Dinsmore, Connolly.
And Williamson again struggling with that inside rail there, so he's obviously still full of running, but struggling a little bit there, probably to sit in behind Owen Miller there. Probably needs to take a little bit of a step back or go slightly on the outside, really hugging that inside rail, and they're all very much locked in step here, the three athletes. They've made a bit of a gap on our man Mark Nixon here, back in 4th place. Still looks like he's running well, but certainly losing ground here with every passing step. Stephen Connolly, and then my man from Annandale Striders, whose name I've now forgotten, Luke Dinsmore. Those two are battling together. Connolly just going by him.
It looks as though Miller may start to make a move on Adam Kirk-Smith here. He's sort of just going wide, coming around that bend. Adam Kirk-Smith, Derry Track Club. Owen Miller from Fife. And JP Williamson just beginning to fall off. And then Mark Nixon just closing in on him. Then Stephen Connolly right on the shoulder of Nixon. Luke Dinsmore, Owen McElhinney.
Yeah, and Stephen Connolly looks like he's plenty of running there. He goes by Mark Nixon. He's gone into 4th place, and he's kind of slowly made his way up here, and he does look like he's quite fresh. But Kirk Smith still in the lead. He's ran 3:43 for 1500 metres. So he's 9 seconds faster than Owen Miller over 1500. But we've 1200 metres left to run. I don't think Kirk Smith has that in his legs at the moment, but certainly going to be a great battle here between two high quality athletes over the last couple of laps. John Paul Williamson looks like he's going to be put under pressure by Stephen Connolly, and Mark Nixon is still holding his own here in 5th place.
11:57, so 3 minute kilometres, so 6 minutes for the last 2k. 5:57 for the previous 2,000 metres, so it's pretty consistent running here. And now Miller starts to make his move. Owen Miller, Adam Kirk-Smith looks over his shoulder again, nearly seems to be able to turn that head 180 degrees.
Owl-like, yeah.
Owen Miller, 2 laps to go, 5-6 metres over Adam Kirk-Smith. Stephen Connolly now moved into 3rd from JP Williamson 4. Owen McElhinney having a great run in 5.
Yeah, it really looks like Owen Miller's really made a gap here on Adam Kirk-Smith, and he took a long look behind him as he came into the home straight, and I think that probably tells us enough that Owen Miller here is running away from it with every single stride. He's making his way from Adam Kirk-Smith, and Stephen Connolly having a great run there in 3rd place, but I think he's going to be put under pressure as John Paul Williamson loses ground on McElhinney there.
The battle looks to be for 3rd place here. 4 of them battling it out, and then Mark Nixon in behind them, but absolutely no doubt he's taken 45-50 metres in the last 400 metres. Owen Miller is absolutely full of running. This is going to be a very fast 800 metres.
Yeah, of course we haven't mentioned as well, Gavin Corey there has gone up, and he is in 4th place or 5th place, just behind McElhinney and Stephen Connolly. So a serious battle for 3rd, but the battle for the win, Owen Miller 13:38 at the bell, so you expect to see him under 15 minutes. But Adam Kirk-Smith's going to be put under a lot of pressure here.
Oh, gone. Adam Kirk-Smith pulls out a lap to go. So now the battle is for 2nd place, and it looks as though Gavin Corey from Strive Racing Club looks the most comfortable of those. He's looking for Dundrunside Dublin athlete with that singlet. It's thrown me off. But look he's absolutely flying here, Owen Miller in the front. It's 13:38 at the bell. Let's see what this last lap is. 200 metres to go at 14:09. So that was a 31-second 200 metres there. This is really, really impressive here. This is going to be well sub 15. Could it be sub? It's going to be probably around 14:45 or better. He came here to run 14:30, I think he had down on his... The crowd puts their hand together as they should. This has been really, really good last 1,000 metres. Just going to be over 14:40, 14:41.65.
Yeah, cracking last lap there from Owen Miller, but it looks like it's going to be McElhenney getting up here.
He gets up for second, yeah. And then look at JP Williamson battling. Will he get up for third? Oh, he looks as though he just got up for third place, JP Williamson. So all those athletes in around the 14:55 to 59.
Yeah, Mark Nixon crossing the line there as well, and Nuri AC's athlete there as well, Gary Crummy getting over the line alongside Luke Dinsmore. So a couple of athletes there coming in under 15 minutes. I'll be very, very happy with that. Good performance there from those boys. And the man from North Belfast Harriers here is that Matthew Lavery crossing the line.
Yeah, looks like him. It's good running still in the 15:20s.
That's the thing, you're looking here at Owen Totten crossing the line 15:27, and David Troy company as well. But that's cracking running. Like, these guys are running in around, just outside 3 minutes a kilometre, which is very, very quick running.
Win most road races around the country.
Yeah.
You'd be walking away with a nice little envelope in your back pocket.
Or something, you know. But no, really, really good performances there from these boys on the track. But great, last couple of laps there from Owen Miller at 3:52, 1500 metre pace has been put to good use.
I clocked him at the 63 second last 400 metres.
Yeah, he came through in about 13:38 or so, and he was absolutely flying it from there on after. Adam Kirk-Smith dropping out with a lap to go, so it would have been interesting to see what he have held off the lads there over that last lap. But certainly good performances there all the way through from the likes of Stephen Connolly as well, so get those results here when we can.
Great progress by Owen McElhenney over the last couple of years. Sort of, in the shadow of his brother, but he's come to the game late.
Owen, so congratulations, both of you. Tough conditions out there,
Yeah.
How was it for you? Did it go according to plan?
Yeah, it was good race, and just stick to the plan and just timed it right. Just like I normally do.
Good man, brilliant. And what about yourself, Owen?
Yeah, I was just wanted to go 72s as often as many as I could, and if there was 12 and a half of them, I'd be under 15. So I think I am anyway. It's just great. Want to run Ordingham at the end of May in Belgium, and you have to be sub 15 for that. So hopefully this gets me in there. So that's a good day.
And there's a bit of a headwind in the coming down there, was there?
Yeah, a wee bit. Yeah, I could feel it on the back straight a wee bit.
But your last 400, you went for it.
Yeah, went for it. I speeded along. I'm like 15th metre with a T20, and I was at Tokyo Paralympics.
Gold medal.
Gold medalist, yeah.
Amazing. Gold medal in Tokyo last summer, unbelievable. And how does this compare to Tokyo now? Be honest, watch what you say.
Tokyo was quite a big stage. It was really good the rest of my life, so it was a big competition. So.
Absolutely amazing. We're absolutely delighted to have you here today. I just kind of echo that from everybody who organised as well, so thanks a million for coming. So what's the plan then going forward for yourself?
We've about 7 weeks to Nationals, probably around 5k at Nationals, so just try and get in as good a shape as I can for that, and hopefully make an A final there and just see how it goes.
And what about yourself? Plan going forward?
I'm doing 5k's this year. I'm doing the bigger distances this year, and then next year I'm hoping to go to Paris for the Paralympics, World Champs.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
that's great. And are you both staying in Belfast tonight?
No, I'm going away down home actually. I'm just in Dublin at the moment.
You're just
working in Dublin, so that's bad. I'm staying in Belfast tonight. So
staying in Belfast. Yeah. And what about the brother? I can't not talk to you without mentioning the brother. How's he getting on?
Dar's good. Yeah, he's. I think he's running the club relays tomorrow. He's just back from a training camp in Fontramau, and then I'd say the plan is to get the 5k standard for Europeans and hopefully represent Ireland at European seniors. So.
Would you jump in with him at all in any of the sessions?
Yeah, we're in the same training group, so I'm chasing him once or twice a week, which is good fun for my sins. But yeah, that's good.
Well, guys, listen, thanks a million, and congratulations. Thanks a million for coming to the North Belfast Harriers 5000, and we'll see you soon. Good luck with it going forward. All the best.
Thanks a million.
one of the right team then. If you want to.
So 15-minute break now before we get underway with the first of our 2 women's 5,000 metres. So up and running, are heading over the back straight to try and warm up slightly, and we'll talk to you all again shortly.
Well,
Oh, doing all right.
it sounded good, yeah.
All right, okay, yes, that's good. And then, can we definitely grab something?
Well, I'm only judging by your word, they said yes.
Shimmy said it.
Shimmy said
Can we
it.
get a tea or something? Or can we grab something?
Yeah, I'd say to them, you two are official.
Did you just hear your voice being called? No, I just sense the presence.
Ashton Ahern from Raheny, and we've got our pacer Lucy Foster. She's looking to run 79 seconds. That's to run 16:30 pace. So you'll be looking at a 3k mark around 9:54. So she'll have gone straight to the lead there. And the black singlet, so 79 seconds. So you're looking at about 39 or so through 200 meters. So we'll see how she gets on with this pacing. But small field, but a good field nonetheless.
Go on, Danny.
So Foster into the lead here, and we've got our second place athlete there. That looks like the athlete from Annandale Striders. That is Robin McKee there in second place. A little bit quick there from Foster to start off, but not too much of a shock. So always away, trying to get out quickly and make sure she's in the lead. That athlete in second there is Rob McKee from Annandale Striders. Third place then, I think, would be probably the athlete from Newcastle, so Joanne Mills. Kira Toner from City of Derry Spartans.
So just in case anyone doesn't know, Lucy Foster, the intermediate schools champion. She likes to run from the front, so this will be no problem for her, but as long as she can just try and keep the pace to what the athletes want. She was a bit fast through 200 and she's tried to slow it down, but she's 76, 77, so she's a couple of seconds too fast. So hopefully now she'll just begin to get her stride, get her pace. 4 athletes tucked in behind now, and they'll just come along for the ride as long as Lucy's able to keep them going, and we're expecting her to do about 6 laps, I think.
I think so, yeah. So it's always difficult for one of her first times pacemaking, but she's got nicely into her running here at the moment, and got a nice pace there for Robin McKee and Kira Toner just behind her. A decent field for 71. Then just behind that is Rachel Gibson from North Down AC, and then Dromore AC's Rebecca Osborne just behind her again. So all these athletes looking to run in around that 17 minutes, between 16, 13, 17 minutes. So it could be a little bit quick at the moment for them. But McKee there in second place, looks like she's got plenty of running in her legs.
Yeah, Kira Toner just had to check herself there coming through finish line again. Just got a wee bit too close to McKee. Lucy Foster around 4:30 for a 1500. Not bad for an under 17 girl.
Oh, she's running well there now down the back straight, and she's clicking off those laps quite nicely there. You've got going through 240 through 800, so she's on a decent pace there. McKee in second, and Kira Toner then in third. They've got a little bit of a gap back there to Rachel Gibson, who's like Gareth Hill going up the distances as the years click on, and Dromore AC's athlete there, Rebecca Osborne then in fifth. She's around 17:42, and she's looking around 17:15 today, so she's running well there. We've got kind of 3 distinct groups here: Newcastle Athletics Club's Joanne Mills and Ashton Ahern then in that kind of third group there. So everyone kind of running at their own pace at the moment. Foster just checking her watch there as we come up with 10 laps to run.
Yeah, so we're 77 and an 82, I think, so just hopefully now we get it back to the 79s or 78s. And the 2 in behind, just happy to sit in as long as possible. Robin McKee in second place, Kira Toner, City of Derry Spartans in third, and then Rachel Gibson from North Down AC, and Dramore's Rebecca Osborne in fourth in the race. Again, Lucy Foster, the pacemaker in this.
She's running very, very well here. The wind seems to have died down slightly there in the last few minutes, and it's plenty of athletes still to run in our A races, which are coming up after this. But this race, obviously, we're lacking in a few numbers, kind of bullets there in the last few days, and the quality is still high though. McKee there at the front, just behind Foster. These athletes will be looking to run instead in around that 16:30, 79 seconds a lap. So well on pace for that at the moment, but crowd building here as well for these A races later on. So you can see their athletes, or the crowd actually on the track in different sections. So great initiative here by North Belfast Harriers as Foster comes up here. 9 to go. So she expects to be a 5:19 at the mile. bit of a gap there going back to McKee and Toner, who needs to stay with her if they want to try and stay on that pace. They're leaving a little bit of a gap row at the moment. Back to Gibson and Osborne then in fourth and fifth.
Yeah, so 3 races within this race, 3 sets of 2. We see now as Lucy Foster comes up to complete her 4th lap. We were looking for 5:19. We're going to be about 5:22, I'd say. So 5:22 and then 5:23, 5:24 then for our 2 athletes actually in the race. So a few pullouts here. Jane Buckley, Jodie McCann were due to run, and they were looking for the 16:30 race. So McKee looking for a 16:50 and Toner looking for 16:40. So they're probably on that pace. They may have asked Lucy to slow it down slightly, given that some of the other athletes aren't in it. And you can see Lucy just checking her watch.
Yeah, she looks the best of them at the moment in terms of how easy she's actually running. I know that's very easier when you know that you're going to be pulling out of the race, but she certainly looks like she's got plenty left at the moment, so you wouldn't be shocked to see her do an extra couple of laps here and get a good workout. McKee in second place and Toner just in third there. Just working just up behind McKee all the time. McKee has got that little bit gap all the way to Foster. Serious battle on in there for third place between Gibson and Osborne, Northdown and Dromore respectively.
Yeah, and then Joanne Mills and Aisling Ahern then in 5th and 6th. So as the laps churn away, that was an 83-second lap, so now Lucy pulls out and leaves it to the 2 racers. Toner has sat in behind McKee from the very start, so the taller athlete trying to shield herself from the smaller athlete. There is a brutal wind down there, and it's against you in the home straight.
Yeah, you can see Toner just there settling in nicely behind McKee, with some good running here from these athletes, and you'd expect to see them go close to that 17-minute barrier, barring any mishaps on the last couple of laps. McKee running really well there at the front. A short striding athlete, and Toner just sitting behind, looks to be very much in control.
And 3rd and 4th place just coming past now. So Rachel Gibson has led Rebecca Osborne the whole way through as well, but looks as though Osborne looks a little bit more comfortable than her.
Certainly does, and that back straight battle here now between McKee and Toner. I know the pacemaker has dropped out. There's always that little inclination then to remember that you're in a bit of a race and you want to battle the athlete you're alongside, and you can see there that McKee though has kept pouring the pressure on, and it mightn't be an athlete maybe with too much of wheels over the last couple of laps, so she's hoping to pour it on here and kind of get rid of Toner over these final remaining laps. She ran 4:30 for 1500, so well capable. 36:06 for 10k, and Toner actually with that 35:43 over 10k, so probably Toner with the more endurance-based approach, just very slightly.
Yeah, but she seems to be happy to sit in behind and not take it on, so we would expect that Toner might take it on with maybe 3 or 4 laps to go and try and kill the speed from Robin McKee. That 4:30 is 72s a lap, so
yeah, well capable over those last couple of laps, and we've got 6 to go now, so we're coming up towards the kind of business end of proceedings here, and these two are kind of locked together, and it's supposed to be very difficult for McKee there leading out into the wind, knowing that Toner's just sitting on her shoulder there. You can feel, you won't be able to see her, but you'll be able to feel her presence just on her shoulder all the time, and hear the footsteps, and it's kind of you're running with kind of blinkers on there at the front, not able to see what's happening.
yeah, but all you can do is focus on yourself. Keep charging on.
I have to say, I always refuse to lead pretty much every race I was in. I don't think I've rarely ever led a race.
I think that's probably because you weren't capable of leading a race.
That's possibly that. I have some of the, the D races perhaps.
That's another day's conversation.
But much easier just to sit in behind and kind of feel like you can see what's happening, and
that's it. Enjoy the leaders.
Exactly. Enjoy the work being done by the others.
We'll come round now, they'll have 3,000 completed when they come past the finish. It'll be about 10:20. But still, McKee has led Toner from the gun. Toner has sat and sat and sat. We do expect her to make a move at some stage. She actually looks very, very comfortable, actually. Ciara Toner in second place. But McKee charging on 10:20 exactly at 3,000 metres.
So looking at around 17-15 pace at the moment for these athletes.
Yeah, and Rebecca Osborne then has pulled clear of Rachel Gibson for the battle for third and fourth. But there's no doubt gold and silver in this one is going either to McKee or Toner. Where's your money, Ronan?
I think Toner certainly looks like she's running much easier, but I suppose if if they at least know each other, McKee with that 4:30, you'd have to feel that if she has anything left, she'll take it on over the last couple of laps and kind of and be able to run away from Toner. But you'd have to think if Toner had was feeling well enough, she'd be trying to put the pressure on here at the front. But she seems quite happy to sit there. But I'd be going with McKee anyway at this stage.
I think I'm going to go for Toner. So 16:47 on the track as opposed to 17:16 for McKee.
I'm going. This is like Man City and Liverpool though. McKee is ahead. She's a point ahead. She's ahead at the moment, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah. I'll give you that at the moment.
Toner looking very comfortable there. In fairness, and you have to think that McKee needs to be, maybe 10 seconds better than her over 5k at the moment because she's having to lead into that wind all the time and that concentration of staying in the lead with Toner just sitting in. I know she's a taller athlete. She's probably getting a little bit of wind from McKee, but
yeah, I'd say Rebecca Osborne has probably pulled 20 metres back in that last lap, but there's not enough laps left for her to make any impact, I don't think.
No, and you wouldn't think she's not running with that much energy to feel like she's going to catch these, especially as the two athletes in front very much in control of their running at the moment and running well down that back straight. And I think Toner looks like she's thinking about a move. She was kind of sitting in right directly behind her, but she's kind of got onto her shoulder there now over the last 100 metres or so. And you'd expect coming up now, there's going to be 3 laps to go. Will Toner make any sort of move here, or will she wait until the final lap?
So it's Robin McKee, Annadale Striders, Ciara Toner, City of Derry, AC Spartans, then Rebecca Osborne from Jamore AC about just close to 100 metres behind now. No, she's only about 50 metres, 100 metres behind the leaders. Then is Rachel Gibson from North Down AC. It's all about these two ladies at the front.
But you are right though, Osborne is starting to, I'd say if there was maybe 4 or 5 laps left, you might see a little bit more of an effort there from her, or that culminating in a victory, but these two athletes have made too much of a gap.
It's probably 50 metres at the minute.
Toner once again going on the outside there of McKee and just putting that little bit of pressure on her all the time. Say, I'm still here, I'm still on your shoulder. And McKee there, the arms swinging, the kind of zip in her stride seems to have gone a little bit, and the two athletes are still tipping away. Toner is probably looking the more kind of relaxed on her feet now at the moment. And
shoulders are low. She comes up onto her shoulder each time. She did on the last lap but didn't make a move and sat in behind up the home straight again. But we're coming up to 4,000 metres now, and now Toner moves into the lead, 4,000 in 14 minutes exactly. So that was a 3:40 last kilometre.
She's immediately made a gap of maybe 1-2 metres on McKee. McKee, you can see the arms are swinging. She's trying to keep herself still in the mix here and trying to use that 4:30 speed. They're coming up now. They'll have 2 laps to go, and Toner looks to be eking out the centimetres and getting away from McKee. And you'd have to think that McKee is probably cursing her after he looks behind and has a quick look behind. I think that probably tells us all we need to know, that she doesn't feel like she has it as a Toner is cutting out 5-6 metres, and looks like she has this over the last 2 laps.
So it takes a good look at the watch. Ciara Toner, 14:42, 800 to go. 14:45 then for McKee. Osborne 14.50. 2 laps to go. Rachel Gibson is really hurting here. She comes up to 2 laps to go, but she's going to really struggle over these last 2 laps. Looks to be really hurting here. Looks to be all over the shop. So let's hope that she's okay. It's not looking great for Rachel Gibson.
Certainly not, but it is looking good for Rebecca Osborne here in the back straight. That little look behind, and she's starting to gain on Ian McKee, and I think that's where the only change we'll really see from here on out is that battle on the back straight there. Osborne chasing down McKee, who's been in the lead all the way through the race. Osborne never even took a look at the front of the race, and now she's starting to move up towards McKee, and that gap is closing with every passing second as much as the gap is growing in front, with Toner getting further and further into the lead.
So Toner, I'd say, has kept the same gap over Rebecca Osborne, but the gap then between McKee and Osborne is down to less than 10 metres.
I'd say it's going to be a cruel sport here. McKee made all that early running, and Toner sitting on her shoulder goes by. See you later. A lap to go for Toner, but Osborne now up into McKee's shoulder, goes straight by, no mercy whatsoever, and already has a metre on McKee and does the right thing there in terms of going straight by and on. Great last couple of laps here from Osborne.
So we're not it's going to be 17.20 or 17.25, I'd say, for the winner here. She looks pretty comfortable. She never really seems to have broken her stride, just kept it consistent.
No, she's actually incredibly relaxed there as she goes down the back straight. Looks like she's just out for a bit of a jog this evening and has had that very relaxed style the whole way through. I'd say she may have been hurting all the time, but it just looks like she's a very relaxed runner. And Osborne really going for it down that back straight, putting serious ground into McKee, and McKee is done and dusted. She's bankrupt now on the back straight with 250 metres left to run, but it looks like it is going to be Toner here coming into the home straight. 150 metres left to run, Fintan. She's taking it home.
Yeah, Ciara Toner from City of Derry Spartans comes into the home straight. Decent crowd on the track out in lane 4. Hopefully give her a little bit of encouragement. She comes into the home straight, but absolutely flying in second place, Rebecca Osborne. If she had made the move maybe a couple of laps earlier, but I still think Toner had whatever it took to win that race. 17.28.78, and then about 17.35 for Osborne, who's taken about 80 metres in the last 400 metres out of Robin McKee from Annandale Striders. And then I take it all back for Rachel Gibson. She's hung in really well there in that last 800 metres and actually finishing pretty strongly here. The North Down AFC athlete.
Yeah, really good finish from her there. Just about outside 18 minutes for Rachel Gibson. The Newcastle athlete Joanne Mills there getting up for, I think, fifth place in this one. 18.15 or so, 18.16, and then Ahern then from Ashton Ahern from Raheny. That could be close to a personal best for her.
18.22 I got her at, yeah.
So good performance from Ahern there, rounding out that women's B race. So next up is going to be our men's A race. A cracking effort. So we've got a great field in this men's A race. We've got Christian Jones from Swansea Harriers. We've got Mitchell Byrne from Rathfarnham, Ben Branagh from St Malachy's, James Donald from Dundee Hawkhill, Dave Scanlon from Rathfarnham, John Craig from Annandale, Thomas Devaney from Castlebar, Johnny Wan has pulled out. Yep. We've got Scott Fagan from Metro St Bridget's, Daniel Stone from Raheny, Peter Gracie from Beachmount, Andrew Milligan from North Belfast Harriers, Craig McMeekin from North Down, Kevin Moore from Dundrum, Conor McLean from St Malachy's, Jamie Fallon from Crowell, and Jack Fenlon from St Evans. So big field.
Yeah, so Jack Fenlon, probably the baby of this race. Still, I think he's only under 18. A great crop of athletes, boys in that 17s, 18s and 19s in Irish athletics. And some really competitive 3,000 metre races with Jack Fenlon on the team.
Okay, Girls, well done, congratulations at the North Belfast Harriers 5000s. Brilliant running on a very, very hot day. We have Ciara Toner takes the win, Derry City Spartans, and then we have Rebecca Osborne, Dromore AC. Ciara, how did that pan out for you?
It was much tougher than what I thought. Sorry.
Don't stand over there.
Sorry. Yeah, it's my first track race ever.
Oh no!
So it was a rude awakening, but
stand over there, just side by side.
Absolutely brilliant. Like thought it would go a bit faster, but I didn't know. I was in no man's land really. I think I expected more people around me. So that's scarce in numbers. So out me going. Robin pulled me around as well. She was brilliant. Really hot, but a brilliant day. Glad I done it. Be back again, definitely.
Congratulations. What about yourself, Rebecca?
I had no idea where I was going to be because I haven't had a track season in a few years, but I was just listening to my coach on the way around and he was happy enough with where I was sitting, and then I just heard that the end pace was starting to drop, so just took it on myself and started to slowly reel in the girls at the front, but
good.
No, really happy with that.
Okay. Well, wasn't it a PB, was it?
No.
You said it was your first
track race, so you know what, I'm not giving myself a hard time ever.
Wow.
Ever. So I was in Portugal last week doing a bit of training, and it was first time on the track.
Some time of it, you athletes. My son, he's over there as well. You probably saw him last week too, Luke Kelly.
Oh right, yes,
so
I've seen a whole contingent out. That was brilliant.
You keep an eye on him. But it's good when you can do that, isn't it?
Yeah, listen, it was so motivating for me. I train a lot on my own, and since COVID I think we're all the same, but it's really good to get on with that club mix and start training up again, so feeling good. I'm happy with that.
Good. And what about the plan going forward from here then, Ciara? The summer?
I haven't got huge plans, to be honest, and that's not me keeping them close to my cards, close to my chest. I'm just going to do another few 5Ks and then maybe step up the distance a wee bit again. Sort of like a middle distance is my sort of sweet spot, so maybe get into that again, over the summer. So lots to look forward to.
No problem. And Rebecca, what about how was the preparations for this race, and what's the plan going forward?
Yeah, preparations were pretty good. I had COVID about 7 weeks ago, so I did Queen's 5K 4 weeks after that. So it wasn't a great start back into my 5K racing, but I'm really happy with where I'm at the minute and just ready to build for more.
Good. And what about races like this in the calendar, folks? How important are they, Ciara?
I think more so than ever. I think if you talk to any athlete, I feel like they would all probably say the same thing. We've lost a lot of time, a lot of valuable time, and meets like this are so important because I have met people today that I've never met, and it's just that social element is huge and very, very motivating. So I love it. More of this, please. Definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, definitely more races. I was looking at the international in I think it's July, and I don't have the entry standard for the 800 or 15 because I haven't raced them in a few years, and it's looking like I'll have to go down to Dublin to try and get a qualifying standard. But yeah, the more races the better.
Good. Well, keep your eyes peeled, you never know, and it's nice just looking across and seeing that embankment there with everybody sitting watching.
Yeah, no, the crowds are very motivating in themselves, and I have a few friends up there too, and it's all very motivating.
So I'll give them a wave.
I tried to, but I was working too hard.
Yes. Well, listen, we're going to join the next race. Thanks a million.
Thank
all
you.
The best. Thank you. Okay, thanks.
Our 2A races starting off with the men's A 5,000 metres. So the athletes are looking to get paced in 65s here for 13:40. Very difficult conditions for trying to run 13:40, but a few athletes in here will certainly give it a go. They're just getting lined up now. They're going off in 1 minute, 20 to 4. And then we'll finish off with a top class women's 5,000 metres. Host of top class Scottish athletes over here, all looking to run fast times, Commonwealth Games qualifiers. And then we have our Northern Irish athletes, Anne-Marie McGlynn and Emma Mitchell, looking to try and put themselves in the mix.
Yeah, you have to say it's been an incredibly well organised organised event here by North Belfast Harriers. It's all going off perfectly on time, and the athletes are loving the atmosphere and a few tunes in the background, and it's all been ran very well today by the host club, and fair play to all the volunteers out here on a Saturday as well. So this is kind of the crowning moment here, the couple of A races, so we'll be finishing us off with some fantastic runs here.
We have the easiest job. We sit in our seats, we get fed, we get the results handed to us.
It's been a joy.
And everyone else has to scramble around in the background.
So this men's 5k here, 65s is the assigned pace. We've got Juan Indicio Pena running the pacemaking duties here. So you see him make his way to the front fairly quickly. And Mustafa Nazir as well. He's going to take him out for a couple of laps. So he's going to 3 laps, and I think Juan Ignacio is going to 6 at 65. That's 13:40 pace, which is fairly tasty, it must be said. And they've gone off fairly quickly here. And already we're into single file, which is always a great sight in the men's A5k here. Mitchell Byrne there back in 5th place as well. So lots of talent in this field.
That's Christian Jones from Swansea Harriers is tracking the 2 pacemakers, so he is going to give it a real go. Great to see Mustafa Nazir back on the track, one of our top juveniles, Tala SC athlete back in the day, won multiple juvenile championships, back now with the Phelan Kelly crew, trying to get himself back into real top race pace, but we know he has the talent.
Yeah, certainly Taunton Games record holder there, 153 back in the day in Santry Stadium. I think it may have been broken since, but it was a cracking performance.
Yeah, I think Lewis O'Loughlin might have taken it.
Yeah.
That was my record.
Yeah, was it? There you go. So Mustafa Nazir leading this. 2nd place then is Juan Ignacio, the other pacemaker, and then Christian Jones from Swansea Harriers he's made his way over here. He's getting his money's worth. He's going to go after it and try and run a personal best. He's ran 13:45, so this is 13:40 pace that they're going at. So it's in and around his top end. The second in the actual race then is Peter Gracie, the 14:56 athlete. He's in 4th place there overall, with 2nd in the race. Mitchell Byrne is behind him, then Andrew Milligan. So really top quality field here. You've got plenty of athletes ranging from sub 14 minutes up to that kind of 14:30, 14:40 range. So we'll see kind of 2 races within the race here.
So let's just hope that Juan Pena can take Christian Jones a large part of the race here, because it looks as though he's going to be front running for a long period. So hopefully Juan will take him to 3,000 metres. We saw him do a lot of pacing in the indoors. It's top quality pacing.
Yeah, they're really banging it out there. That's 2:11, so just slightly outside the 65s, but no harm early doors. To a little bit slower is never any problem over 5k in the first couple of laps. So they're really hitting it really nicely there. Mustafa Nazir doing a great job. One issue that they're all looking behind, making sure that Christian Jones is still there. Big gap then all the way back to Peter Gracie, but you can see the class of Christian Jones here. He just looks so relaxed behind the 2 pacemakers, and he'll be delighted with this now. Perfect pacing all the way so far from Mustafa Nazir.
Yeah, might be just a couple of seconds slow there. We're looking for around 2:43. We're at 2:46 for the first kilometre, and then the entire field just tucked in behind.
That's Peter Gracie there from Beachmount.
Mitchell Byrne having a great season as well, a great cross-country season, a good indoor season.
Mitchell Byrne actually lives close enough to me there, and he runs quite often in our local park, so he's always flying around at a good decent pace alongside a couple other high quality athletes, and he breaks from that group there in front of Peter Gracie, and he's leading those boys out. He's had enough of the pace, and he's gone for it there.
Ben Branagh then just looks to cover that move as well, but the gap between the leaders and the chasing pack, Mitchell Byrne's obviously said this is too slow for them in the chasing pack. He's gone after them, but Christian Jones, the quality athlete in the field, 13:45 PB, looking to run around that today, which will be difficult in the conditions, but he's tracking the pacemakers, he's trusting the pacemakers that they're going to do their job, and he's looking to put a show on for the crowd here.
Yeah, Mitchell Byrne, that 14:08 personal best, so he'll be thinking if he can run well today and run a personal best, then maybe Christian Jones runs under his own personal or under his own ability and maybe runs a little slower today. Mitchell Byrne might be able to go after him and get the win in this one, but Jones looks really, really comfortable there in third place overall, first in the actual race.
Yeah, so it's Byrne and Branagh in second and third. Could be Jamie Fallon then maybe from Crockwell, is it? Then in the next group.
It's a blue singlet there. I think it's unless he may be making a mug out of us there by wearing a non-club singlet, which is always very unhelpful if that is what he's done. But he is sitting in there in fourth place, just in front of the other Rathfarnham athlete. So a decent field so far. Mustafa just steps to the side, and Jones showing how easy he is. He goes, "Thanks very much for the pacemaking there, buddy," and sticks his hand out for a high five. So he must be feeling pretty good today.
Good battle now in second place between Byrne and Branagh.
That's Thomas Devaney there from Castlegar in fourth place, and David Scanlon just behind him.
So come up now to 2,000 metre mark. We're going to be around 5:35, 5:33, 5:34, 5:35. We've slowed it down. 2:49 last kilometre, so we'll be doing well to break 14 minutes, I think, here.
I think Juan Ignacio's really just starting to pour it on there. I think he's copped that slightly slower pace, and the only advantage to this might be that you might actually get him a couple of laps further, and maybe get him just up to 3k or maybe even beyond. So he has definitely started to increase the pace there, and Christian Jones is trying to sit on his shoulder. Mitchell Byrne then in third, Branagh in fourth, and then a battle then between Devaney and Scanlon then back in fifth and sixth. See the tall athlete there, Andrew Milligan, just getting passed up by Conal McLean there. So those athletes working together, and then I think that is Drumore Vest, is it? Or Dundrum Vest, Kevin Moore. Yeah. Tipperary man, gone into seventh place there. So a really nice battle there between all those athletes. Craig McBeacon in there as well, and it's a good field there. Scott and Fagan is just at the back of that.
Yeah. Also our leader our pacemaker has dropped out now, so a long run for him. We're only coming up to the halfway mark now when it comes to the 100 metre, so we try and get the 2,500 metres, see what they're at. He's going to be just 6:57 at the halfway mark, so he's still on sub 14, but it's going to be a long solo effort for our leader Christian Jones from Swansea Harriers. Ben Branagh now moves into second place from Mitchell Byrne, and David Scanlon from Rathfarnham just has Kevin Moore from Dundrum AC come up onto his shoulder, but there's a big group there, 6 or 7 athletes. Thomas Devaney there, also Conal McLean from St Malachy's having a good run just on the outside there.
Yeah, and John Craig then just behind that, the Masters champion from 2 years ago down in Dublin. So he's the Andale Strider at the back of that group. So it's a really big group there, all working together. But you can see that Jones really is just a class of the field, and he's running away nicely from these boys. But Mitchell Byrne and Ben Branagh will be enjoying each other's company there and working together and hoping to kind of close that gap. And they know that they'll have to work together to try and get up towards Jones. But Jones, a long way to go, getting great support from the crowd here, especially the crowd that's out into lane 4. They're really giving it stocks and supporting the athlete as he runs pretty much on his own here.
Yeah, he probably had hoped that he'd have a few people with him to bring him through to at least maybe 4,000 metres, but unfortunately that's not the case. So it's a long solo effort for the Welsh athlete. Christian Jones, Swansea Harriers, 80 metre, 90 metre lead over Mitchell Byrne and Ben Branagh, second and third, and then David Scanlon still leads out that next group. And Kevin Moore from Dundrum then right on the outside, then Thomas Devaney, and on the inside Conal McLean from St Malachy's, and then John Craig from Annadale Striders. Andrew Milligan then also North Belfast Harrier. So that's that 6.
Jones 8:24 through 3K, so he's running really well there. He's absolutely flying it at the moment, and plenty of running left for him, but still running well at the moment. White cap at the front of the field. Ben Branagh then in second place. Mitchell Byrne just behind him, but just made a little bit of a gap on Mitchell Byrne there. Mitchell Byrne stepped out on the home straight and led him up through the middle, and appears to have kind of lost that little bit of a gap to him as he kind of looks down towards his feet. But huge group there in that second group there, currently being led by Conal McLean, John Craig at the bookending it at the other end, but working together. Jones here coming up now with 4 laps to go, a mile to go.
Doesn't look as easy as he was a couple of laps ago. That's because he's known to track, solo effort. Lead probably still 90 metres. Ben Branagh, then Mitchell Byrne. Second and third, Branagh with about 6-7 metres lead over him. 4 laps to go. And then Conal McLean, I'd say the youngest in that group, is now taking the lead from David Scanlon, from Chris Moore, from Kevin Moore, and Thomas Devaney.
Yeah, Milligan famous for those brightly coloured shorts, which in his own words says make up for his lack of personality, which is for great self-depreciatory humour there from Milligan. Really quick finisher, so a lot of people wouldn't want to be him to be hanging around in the later laps there. John Craig got a good finish as well, but Mitchell Byrne maybe 10 metres behind Ben Branagh here, and Branagh is really going to try and break him because Mitchell Byrne does have a very nice kick, 3:46, 1500 metre speed as well, so he'll be trying to make sure he's nowhere near him. But I'm up here now with 3 laps to go, and nowhere near him is Christian Jones, 90 metres at least of a gap back to Ben Branagh, and really showing his class here.
So 3 laps to go, 10:43. I don't think we're going to have sub 14, but hopefully we will. It looks as though he is struggling. And Branagh also struggling. That is a brutal wind up that home straight. You can see how hard they're working here.
Yeah, Byrne starting to look down at his feet, and the kind of a classic case of a man starting to struggle. And will he be caught by the young Conal McLean here? David Scanlon just behind him, then Kevin Moore, then Thomas Devaney, then Andrew Milligan, and then John Craig. And it's a serious group there.
Really good run by Conal McLean. He's got a PB of 15:05 on the track. He looks to be well inside that. He's probably on 14:30 pace, I'd say.
Yeah, and Kevin Moore taking closer order there. And I'm looking forward to that battle there for fourth place, but a serious battle nonetheless. And Milligan as well, making sure. David Scanlon starting to struggle there, and John Craig as well. But Milligan taking closer order. The North Belfast Harrier showing off for the home club. 2 laps to go here for Jones. He said unlikely to break 14 minutes here, but it's still been an absolutely classy performance from the Swansea Harrier. Second place then Ben Branagh, St. Malachy's AC, and then third is Mitchell Byrne, who seems to have lost that gap and could become under pressure there from Kevin Moore from Dundrum.
Yeah, he needs a 2:06 last 800. Not going to happen. It's going to probably be about 14:10. And Branagh well clear now in second place. Mitchell Byrne third, and now Kevin Moore moves into fourth place with Conal McLean, Thomas Devaney, and then Andrew Milligan.
Yeah, Scanlon's lost that gap there, and that group of 6 has now become 4, and those 4 are going to be absolutely battling each other here, and a couple of quick finishers in that group there as well. So Mitchell Byrne under serious pressure here over this next 2 laps. He'll hear that group coming up towards him, and he'll try to hold them off. But Ben Branagh is absolutely full of running here in the back straight, and Jones coming up now. He'll get to hear the bell in a moment, and he'll be delighted to hear it, and I say relieved to hear it. He looks slightly to his left to see how much of a gap he has, but he comes into the home straight for the time here.
110 metres, I'd say.
Yeah, his gap has even increased over the last lap or two, and he's starting to struggle a little bit. I'd say, as you said, unlikely to break 14 minutes here, but still plenty of running in those legs. 13:04 at the bell.
Yeah, that was a 71 last lap. Really hurting.
He might run around the 14-15 margin if we're lucky here, but said that wind is incredibly strong here. Ben Branagh also incredibly strong. He looks over his shoulder as well, and checks where Christian Jones is. He's come up with a lap to go as well. Kevin Moore now is past Mitchell Byrne. Kevin Moore from Dundrum into third place. Thomas Devaney ran the Eurocross there before Christmas, and he is full of running here. The Castlegar athlete, he's into fourth place. Mitchell Byrne in fifth. The young Conal McLean back in sixth, and Andrew Milligan just trying to hold on there and trying to use that speed at the end, but it's going to be a great battle for third between Moore and Devaney.
So just over 150 metres to go. Christian Jones from Swansea Harriers comes into the home straight for the last time. The race looks to be for third and fourth between Moore and Devaney. There's no doubt who's going to win this. It's going to be Christian Jones from Swansea Harriers. Ben Branagh well clear in second place. But look at the battle for third and fourth. So as our leader, Christian Jones, comes across the line, he's going to be around, he's 14-14. So great solo effort over that last 2,500 metres. Ben Branagh comes into the home straight in second place. The clock continues on, so we'll be able to give you those splits. And look at the battle here between Kevin Moore and Thomas Devaney. Devaney thought he had it, but Moore's coming right back at him, and Moore looks to have taken third place. Moore from Dundrum, from Devaney 4, Milligan 5, Conor McLean 6, Mitchell Byrne, a really tough last 1,000 metres for him, but he gave it everything. And then John Craig Annandale Striders, David Scanlon then Rathfarnham, and Craig McMeehan then comes into the home straight from North Down AC. So we're clock just showing 15 minutes now, so probably 10 athletes sub 15 minutes.
Peter Gracie coming up there, passing up Jamie Fallon in the final few yards of that men's A5K here. And then the man from St. Albans, Jack Fenlon, he's getting up here and he's going to run around 15:22. So tough day at the office for the young man, but it's still a cracking run.
Big learning experience for Jack Fallon. Sometimes when these juveniles get into a race with the senior athletes, it is, it's pretty daunting at times. So, he gained a lot from that.
He certainly will. Conor McLean, though, massive PB today, and obviously well capable of running that time, but he had a personal best of 15:05 coming in, and I think he was in around 14:40 there, so he'll be absolutely delighted with that. A great run from him, close enough to his slightly quicker than his road personal best as well, but really, really good race there. Fintan Christian Jones showing his class, probably needed a few more bodies with him in that win in particular, but really, really good race there. Plenty of bodies under 15 minutes.
Yeah, when the pacemakers are gone at 2,400 metres and you have,
it's a long way to go.
Long way. So anyway, let's see what he thinks about it now.
Amazing.
Track side.
We have Ben Branagh, St. Malachy's second place, and then we have all the way from Swansea Harriers with Christian Jones. Christian, congratulations. Happy enough with the plan, how it went?
Yeah, I mean the pace has set up well for me. I like to think I'm in that shape, but it's hard when you got wind and you're trying to run it on your own. And I've had a bit of illness recently, but I'm happy where I'm at, and it's a fantastic event.
Yeah, it's great. And Ben, what about that? The wind. The wind. What was the wind like in the face today?
Yeah, it was tough. As Christian says, it was windy enough all day, and it's just the way the race developed, a few dropouts and stuff. So it's just kind of just race it today and see how it goes. It's not PB. Same with Christian's not PB, but just have to get those days done with you.
I saw you having a wee look behind you. I think it was 600. Was it about 600? Maybe you had a look to see you were comfortably in first.
Yeah, I mean, I was just starting to grind a bit, and I've been doing a lot of sort of 10k half marathon work over the last few months, and yeah, I kind of didn't have that grind for the 5k, but today's about moving myself on, and as I say, it's a great event.
Yeah. And what about the preparation for this, and then going forward, what's the summer look like for you?
So I mean, this is the first race of the year. I chose it because for guys based in Scotland, it's as easy or easier to come over here as to go to Manchester for a BMC. And look, we had a great field together, and a couple of guys scratched with illness and injury, and on a slightly less windy day, we could have had an absolutely great race. But as I say, today I just wanted to move my fitness on and see where I was.
And Ben, the likes of Christian coming across here, how important is that for local athletes like yourself to be able to run side by side with these guys?
Definitely. I wasn't anywhere near Christian today, but if the other guys had it maybe in the field, maybe a bit closer, a bit more of a group. But yeah, it's good to see. You want to get people who are better than you and you can push on like Christian, so that's what you want.
And how important are these events locally?
Oh, brilliant. Yeah, it just means you don't have to travel to England. I know what Christian was saying, he had to come
over, but the fact you can have sleep in your own bed and just drive over 20 minutes, just get to the track, and like the day wasn't PB, but it'll come someday.
Yeah, and again, if you just look behind, we can see everybody sitting in the embankments over there, guys. It's a real good vibe, isn't it? And so Ben, what about the summer for you? How's the summer looking?
Yeah, I've got the IMC up here in 3 weeks, and then just try to break that 14-minute barrier. Hopefully, that's the big goal.
And then Christian, what about what's coming up?
I've got Highgate 10k in a few weeks. I say hopefully just this pushes me on. And I was flying a couple of weeks ago. I had a bout of the flu, and but just to say, this is a fantastic venue. Yes. Like when you get out of this bowl, it's much windier than it is in here. I know. So on a better day, it's just going to be as calm as anything. And it was a 45-minute flight over from Scotland. Awesome. It's going to be the same from Manchester or Liverpool, and it's as easy as going anywhere else. It really is.
Brilliant. Well, listen, guys, congratulations, and thanks a million for participating. Spread the word, because obviously we're keen to keep this going over the next few years. It's going to get bigger and better. So thanks a million.
Thanks. Good job, Anna.
So we're back here. That was the men's 8 winner there. That was Christian Jones. He ran 14:14:06. So tough day. He wanted to run in around 13:40, but very, very windy here today. So Jones with a great performance in the conditions. Ben Brannan getting up for second place, 14:33. Kevin Moore battling it out there with Thomas Devaney, both running 14:36. Kevin Moore getting that third place spot ahead of Devaney from Castlebar AC. And then you had Andrew Milligan then, the home club athlete, North Belfast Harriers, 14:39. Colin McLean then 6th. St. Malachy's AC, 14:41. Big PB for him. Mitchell Byrne, 14:45 from Rathfarnham. John Craig from Annandale Striders, 14:51. David Scanlon, the last man under 15 minutes, 14:56. Craig McMeekin, 15:08. Peter Gracie then, 15:31. Jamie Fallon, 15:14. And Jack Fenlon from St. Davin's, young athlete, finishing 13th in 15:21. Good field here in this women's A race. Morrig Miller from Central AC. She's ran 15:43 and she's hoping to run that 15:35 standard. Scottish Commonwealth Games standard. We've got Annabelle Simpson from Fife AC. Hannah Irwin from Cambridge and Coleridge. Emma Mitchell from Clonard Harriers. Mary McLennan from Hoka 11. Anne-Marie McGlynn from Letterkenny AC. Megan Keith from Inverness Harriers. Happy birthday as well to Megan Keith, 23rd of April.
Yeah,
good birthday.
Under 23 athlete now.
Yes,
was junior, so she's a big girl now.
Yeah, she's moved on. Yeah, Stephanie Pennycook then from Leeds City AC. Aoife Kilgallen from Sligo AC. Aoife O'Cool from St. Cocos. Ida McDonald from Dunor Harriers. Nolene Scanlon from Letterkenny. Sorka McDonald from Dunor Harriers. Celine Gavin from Dublin City Harriers. So plenty of Dublin representation in this one as well, but some really, really top quality athletes lining up here today, and they're looking to run in around 15:37 at the front. That's what the pacemaker is going to be running today. And the pacemaker is another Foster. Kirsty Foster. So they've had a great day out.
4:27 or 4:28 athlete. 1500 metres. The Foster thinks 5 girls, could be wrong, could be 6 girls in the all run. They had one of each of the family members in each of the schools cross country races, minor, junior, intermediate and senior up in Mollusk.
So what club are they from? Willowfield. So Willowfield is the Northern Irish women's cross country sewn up for the next 20 years.
Yeah. Fosters have their own team.
So these athletes will be going off at 4:05, so it's 2 minutes to start, and everything will be running perfectly on time here today at this North Belfast Harriers afternoon of 5,000 metres meet. So a cracking meet, and one that I'm sure if you're watching on the stream, you'll make sure to get up here next year, because it's a meet that's only going to grow and grow over the next couple of years. Really, really well run here today, and we're not just saying that because we've been given some confectionery treats recently, and we're very happy with ourselves. But it has played a part. Sorry, I'm not going to deny it. It's played a part in my enthusiasm.
Yeah, these 15s are unique to Northern Ireland.
They're a joy, in fairness.
Doubt Conor Curran made them himself.
He claims to have. I don't believe
either of the two girls or both of his girls, I'd say, did. Very nice indeed.
Maybe he was a supervisory role. He's been wandering around today. He's supposed to be the meet director, but he didn't direct a whole lot.
Down there getting the adulation of the fans, while it's John Black and the boys have done all the work.
Yeah, poor John Black's been running around after everyone else, and then running the 5k as well. So he's been a busy man.
Since I'd say he's leaning over a bin somewhere.
So last race of the day here, women's A race. Some really, really top quality athletes here. We've got, just off glancing down there, we've got 6 athletes that have ran under 16 minutes before. So it's going to be tough today in this wind. As we've said, feels like it's starting to die down there in the last few minutes. So hopefully we'll see a really, really good race here. A lot of athletes are on a similar standard.
So great work by our East Down AC YouTubers. Doing the business over there.
Busy man.
Neil just puts the headphones on. Looks like a DJ there, but he's far from it. He's hardly even a runner. Thinks he's a runner.
So these athletes will be looking to run 75 seconds a lap. That's what Kirsty Foster is going to take them out in. It's a tough pace. The wind is kicking up now again after our commentators cursed. But 75 seconds will be achievable anyway for sure for the first couple of laps. But how much will it take out of these athletes? They're ready to go here on the line.
Tom Thompson, starter, raises the hand, gets the okay, calls the athletes to the line. Final race of the day. Superb afternoon here in Mary Peters track for the North Belfast Harriers. 5,000 metre afternoon.
See Foster there getting to the front fairly quickly, fairly lively, and she'll be looking to run 75s. As you said, that's around 37 seconds thereabouts for 200 metres. So we'll see now the early laps, as long as they're controlled, we should gain out of this pacemaking. And I think that's Morag Miller there, got into second place fairly quickly as well. She's ran 15:43. She's running for Central AC, the athlete there in second.
Hannah Irwin, I think, in behind her then it is. Anne-Marie McGlynn, one of the most consistent female distance runners in Ireland over the last 10 years. So agonisingly close to the qualification standard for the marathon at the Olympics in Tokyo. 2 seconds, I think, am I right?
I think it was, very, very close, yeah. So an athlete certainly well capable of some top quality times. Anne-Marie McGlynn there just in the middle of your pack. See, still the leader, Kirsty Foster, trying to run the 75 seconds, so she's probably thereabouts, I think. She's going to be very close to it.
Perfect first lap, 75.
So A+ for Kirsty Foster on the first lap. Morag Miller there just in second place. See Marie McLennan there in fourth place. She's running for Hoka 1-1. She's actually coached by Ross Cairns, as is Megan Keith, the birthday girl, and Ross Cairns, of course, coaching Lucas Cairns, who won our second race of the day earlier. So been a really, really good day for the Inverness Harriers club.
So taking Megan's 20 today, moves out of the junior rankings, the European Junior Cross Country Champion in Abbottstown in December. Aoife O'Quill just towards the back of that group, ran European Cross Country as well, coached by Joe Ryan.
The minute of Hannah Irwin there of Cambridge and Coleridge, she's around 15:49 there. She's just settling into third place really on that inside rail there, and she's running quite well. Just going up alongside her then the athlete in red and white, I think is Aoife Kilgallen, Sligo AC. Perhaps not, no.
National Senior 5,000 metre champion from last year.
She's in there, right? I don't know if that's actually her though, in that red and white vest. Just going up there on the outside. Sligo is red and or is white and black, isn't it?
Yeah, you can see Donald Mitchell then in all black, then in about 7th place. Kirsty Foster leads them out. More Morag Miller, wide arm movement in second place.
Morag Miller just going back from she was gave birth to her child there about 18 months ago, so certainly running very, very well. And that's the athlete from Fife, sorry, that's Annabelle Simpson there, getting up. She's in second place, the athlete in white and red, from our Scottish athlete. So we've got Foster in the lead, we've got Morag Miller in second place, Annabelle Simpson then, and then Hannah Irwin just behind her, and then Marie McLennan just there in fifth place as you see it.
We're looking at 3:45 at 1200, I'd say. We're probably 2 or 3 seconds just outside that, I'd say.
Anne-Marie McGlynn there just going into about 7th place, just in front of Emma Mitchell, so at least they're kind of in that mid-pack.
3:48, 1200. So the leader behind our pacemaker is Annabelle Simpson from Fife AC. There looks like most of our Scottish athletes in that leading bunch.
Just trying to keep an eye on that athlete just in front of Anne-Marie McGlynn in the blue singlet. It's a blue and yellow singlet. I think that is Stephanie Pennycook of Leeds City AC. They're just gone in front of Anne-Marie McGlynn, and then Megan Keith is behind that again. So the under 20 European Junior champion, cross-country champion, is kind of not getting to the front of this one. She's expecting to run in around 16:08 as her personal best, and she's hoping just to run anything faster than that today. She's just there in about 7th place. Miller dropping back slightly there in the pack there. It is still Foster in the lead. In second place then is Hannah Irwin there, just in front of Marie McLennan, and Annabelle Simpson then behind her. Morag Miller then in 5th. So the Scots are running well here at the front of this race. Bit of argy-bargy there. Miller just stepping onto the back of Annabelle Simpson.
76-second last lap, so good pacemaking here by Kirsty Foster. 5:04 at 1600. About 4 seconds, or 76 is that they're averaging.
Yeah, which I think in the wind is Admiral running here from Foster at the front. She's not trying to really hammer it out there and make sure those 75s. I think 76 is absolutely fine in this wind, and she's doing a really, really good job there. And Hannah Irwin then just sitting in behind her there in the black vest, just in front of Marie McLennan and Morag Miller. But really, really good, consistent running here. We haven't had any major changes of pace, and I think everyone will be quite happy with Foster's pacemaking.
Yeah, it looks as though she's going to move out and let the others pass now, so it looks as though she'll only get to 2,000 metres. But been a good first few laps for her now. She'll probably move off to the side now as the racers move ahead of her.
Yeah, Irwin looking really good there. The diminutive athlete at the front of the field. She's already got about a 2-3 metre gap there. She really went by Foster, and she's just stolen a bit of a march there as Morag Miller recognises that and makes her way up. The long, tall, striding athlete from Central AC there in the yellow vest, just in second place. So she's made her way up, just eking out those yards, making sure she doesn't let Hannah Irwin gain too much ground on her. Annabelle Simpson then in 3rd, and the athlete from Leeds City AC, Stephanie Pennycook, she is just there in 4th place.
So 6:20 at 2,000 metres, so on course 15:50.
Is that Anne-Marie McGlynn there, just gone into 5th place, just in front of Megan Keith, who closes that gap. Make sure that she's not going to be dropped here by this group, just in front of Aoife Kilgallen there from Sligo AC. And the athlete Marie McLennan seems to be dropping off there, and she's actually pulled out of the race there, the athlete from Hoka 1-1.
Yeah, so it's still Hannah Irwin pushing it on here, in behind her Morag Miller. And then in 3rd place we have Annabelle Simpson. Six athletes now beginning to pull here. Megan Keith at the back of those 6. Anne-Marie McGlynn, the only Irish athlete in that group.
you can see there Kilgallen is trying to catch that group there and trying to hang on as best she can, but I don't think she's going to be able to do that at the moment anyway. That group of 6, Megan Keith just bookending that group there, and they're all running quite nicely here, almost in tandem, in unison there. That this 6 moving at the same pace, with Hannah Irwin just at the front taking on that role as pacemaker, and she's pouring on the pace at the moment. Morag Miller, the taller athlete, just sitting behind there in second place from Central AC. Annabelle Simpson then hiding almost in her shadow there of Morag Miller, just in third, hiding from the wind. Anne-Marie McGlynn then in 5th.
Penny Cook from Leeds in 4th, Megan Keith in 6th.
And you have to say, Hannah Irwin looks full of running here just to the front of this field. Megan Keith probably losing a little bit of ground there on Anne-Marie McGlynn, as Anne-Marie McGlynn takes a slightly closer order there, but she's closing that gap again. But it's a really, really strong group, and you'd be hard pressed to figure out who is finding this the most comfortable. Irwin does look good at the front.
Look at McGlynn now. McGlynn starting to make her move, moved into 4th place there. Sensed that maybe Penny Cook was beginning to struggle, so she moves in behind Simpson then in 3rd place. In 2nd place, Morag Miller. Our leader, Hannah Irwin, happy to take it on at her pace.
Yeah, McGlynn really putting it up to the Scottish athletes here, and she was nervous before the race and probably fairly excited about taking on these athletes, and athletes all of a very similar standard here, so McGlynn really looking to get involved in the upper echelons of this field here.
But you could see the experience in McGlynn there. She knew that Penny Cook was beginning to struggle. She went past her down the back straight. She's trying to close that gap on the leading 3 Scots athletes. Simpson in the lead from Miller in 2nd, or Irwin in the lead from Miller and Simpson. Anne-Marie McGlynn there right onto their shoulder.
Yeah, and Simpson just looking out at Anne-Marie McGlynn there as this, she came up on her shoulder there, just giving her a look of either go by or stay behind, and McGlynn has just sat in behind there again, just hiding from that wind, and Millard in 2nd, Irwin in the lead.
9:32 through 3,000 metres, a 3:12 kilometre. Oh, it looks as though we will be sub 16, not the 15:37 that they were hoping for, but the conditions really brutal for distance athletes. Get the wind on their backs up that back straight, and then in the home straight it's an absolute killer.
Yeah, you can see Megan Keith there going by, Stephanie Penny Cook as well, and she's not to be discounted, the European under-20 cross-country champion. We're not used to running over this distance on the track, but certainly not giving up on this race yet. Probably maybe 10 metres behind, maybe slightly more behind Anne-Marie McGlynn and that pack at the front, but I wouldn't discount her by any means.
You can get through 4,000 metres in Abbottstown on the cross-country course to win a European junior title. You should be able to get through 5,000 on the track, but she's well tailed off here. Anne-Marie McGlynn then, in her 40s, showing the athletes the quality that she is. She's tucked in behind, she looks very comfortable. We know she has brilliant stamina here. Has she the pace? She's moved into 3rd place now. She's just moved ahead of Annabelle Simpson. She comes up onto the shoulder of Morag Miller. Irwin still in the lead. A bit of bumping and barging between the 3 of them in 2nd, 3rd and 4th, but Irwin in the lead, running her own race, hogging the inside.
Yeah, you'd have to think Irwin does seem to be losing a little bit of that pep that she had early doors. She was very, very springy on her feet there, but she's still moving very, very strongly, and it is still 5,000 metres, so you're going to lose a bit of spring, but you can see there she's maybe not moving as easily as she was in the early laps. Morag Miller with that long stride, then eating up the ground all the time with her, but Simpson isn't done yet either. She's sitting in there, she hasn't moved from that inside rail. She's not running any extra distance in McGlynn there, just on the outside, making sure that she's still involved. She's going to go by Morag Miller here, and she'd more than likely have to go by her into the lead, and she has done so, and Irwin is finally out of the lead. McGlynn into the lead now.
Simpson then tries to cover that move by McGlynn, so it's Simpson from Fife trying to track Anne-Marie McGlynn from Letterkenny AC. There, 1-2. Irwin now tucked in behind. That's the first time she'll have had the wind broken for her coming up that home straight. But Morag Miller is far from done as well. These 4. This is the race we wanted to finish off a brilliant afternoon's athletics. And now into the lead, Annabelle Simpson from Fife. 3 laps to go.
And she looks absolutely full of running there. She just put the head down slightly and put herself into another gear there and tried to break Anne-Marie McGlynn. You can see she's making a yard harder too all the time there. And Simpson running into the back straight, running really well all the way from Fife AC. She's got about a metre on McGlynn now. McGlynn has another metre on Irwin, and it looks like the battle then for third would be Irwin and Miller, but McGlynn trying gamely to hang on to Simpson there. Simpson goes into the back straight. She'll have a kilometre to go now, and she's got plenty of running in her legs. She's got a nice forward lean there, putting the pressure on her.
There on the stride. So that was a 3:10 kilometre, 12:42 through 4,000 metres, and I'd say this last kilometre is going to be the fastest of them all. She's absolutely flying in here. You can see the pace has really picked up. Between first and fourth now, 20 metres probably. Morag Miller in fourth, but it's Annabelle Simpson from Fife with 5 metres over Anne-Marie McGlynn, maybe 10 metres now. Gap widening with every stride. Anna Irwin, long time leader, really grimacing hard here. They're coming up to your favourite distance, 800 metres.
Yeah, you can see there Annabelle Simpson with 2 laps to go, 13:20 on the clock, and she just put in that surge there with 3 laps to go, and she's already got 10 metres on Anne-Marie McGlynn, and she's really putting the pressure on those athletes behind her, and she looks like she's running away from this field quite easily, but it's put serious pressure. She sat all the time in that kind of third, fourth spot on the inside rail, and then one shot and she's gone, and she's made a serious dent in the hopes of Anne-Marie McGlynn and Hannah Irwin here. Irwin looks like she's running away from Miller as well, but that long striding athlete Morag Miller will have something to say over these last 600 metres. McGlynn running well, but looks to be being caught by Hannah Irwin. Megan Keith then back in 5th place as well. Sorry, Fintan.
Yeah, no, so the gap to Megan Keith is probably 50-60 metres from Morag Miller, but the lead now probably 15-20 metres for Annabelle Simpson, and then it looks as though Hannah Irwin hasn't let that gap with Anne-Marie McGlynn get any bigger. 500 metres to go. I'd say there'll be a good battle between those two, and if Morag Miller can get back on, but there's no doubt I think who's going to win this with just over 400 metres to go. He looks to be absolutely full of running.
Yeah, Simpson looking great here with 400 metres left to run. It's going to be about 14:32 with the bell, and she's absolutely flying it there as she goes around some of the back markers, and she's flying. Going to be flying down the back straight in a moment. She's striding away from this field. McGlynn then in 2nd place, and Irwin you can see just grimacing there and trying to catch McGlynn. McGlynn surely will have the strength, but will she have the speed? Miller back and forward looks to be done and dusted, and Keith back in 5th. Kilgallen running very well there from Sligo AC, but it really looks as we go down the back straight, although McGlynn is making a bit of a charge for it at the moment, and she is eating up the ground on Simpson. This is going to be some finish, Fintan.
Yeah, that was a 71-second last 400 metres. That's why the field got broken up as much as it did. Anne-Marie McGlynn, she just has too much to do, but she's running faster than she has in the early part of the race, but it's just that the leader, Annabelle Simpson, threw in that 71-second 400 metres, opened up the gap. Anne-Marie McGlynn is definitely closing the gap, but the gap of 15 metres with 120 to go just looks as though it's going to be too much. So into the home straight, Ronan.
Yeah, they're coming into the home straight, and Simpson fighting into the wind. She's striding away from McGlynn here all the time, and McGlynn coming back at her again, and Simpson's looks like she's going to win this. The Fife AC athlete, she digs deep, sticks the head down, and she's going to get the win here. And it's going to be about 15:45 for the win. McGlynn in 2nd, absolutely delighted with that, and it is Irwin then up for 3rd place, and Miller, who made a serious run there in the last lap, up for 4th. And Megan Keith and Aoife Kilgallen are going to be fighting out for 5th and 6th here. Kilgallen coming at Keith, and it looks like Kilgallen's going to get that 5th place just ahead of the European Under-20 champion Megan Keith. It is Kilgallen for 5th.
Annabelle Simpson won that, but Anne-Marie McGlynn runs a PB in that weather. 15:51 was our track PB. Theresa McDade comes over, gives her a massive hug. It's as though she has won the race herself. She is that happy. Brilliant run by Anne-Marie McGlynn. Emma Dunleavy now over, giving her congratulations as well. So another 100 metres and she may have had it, but class run there. 71-71 for the last 2 laps for Annabelle Simpson from Fife AC to take the A Women's 5,000 metres.
Yeah, and for any junior athletes watching that back, just go and watch Simpson there over the early laps, just doing as little as possible and staying on the inside rail all the way. And when she did make a move, it was a decisive one, and a cracking run from her. But you're right, I say McGlynn's joy as she came across the line there, that'll be a great photograph. She was absolutely delighted with that run.
Yeah, I'd say it's about 15:46 or so for her. So to be PB in her early 40s, she won't mind us telling everyone what age she is. She's getting better as the years go on.
Absolutely. We see Celine Gavin here from Dublin City Harriers getting up there. She's ran 17:30, so that's going to just be inside. That's going to be a PB for her.
And Nolene Scanlon from Letterkenny comes across. She'll go to her club mate and congratulate her now when she finds out what time she ran. So Hannah Irwin really made a race of that. She took it on for probably 9 of the laps.
Yeah, she was. In fairness, put in an awful lot of work. Everyone probably give her a thank you card on the way home here, because she did an awful lot of work in that race and led those ladies out. But really, really top quality field there, and this goes to show that even in the conditions that we have here, when you get athletes of that quality together, I mean, you've got Megan Keith finishing in 6th place there. So that just shows that the quality of the athletes in front, and the likes of Morag Miller there, who ended up in 4th place, still running, low 16 minutes.
Look, in today's weather conditions, she run a 15:44, 4-second PB for Annabelle Simpson. They were looking for 15:37.5 for the Commonwealth Games standard. They were just outside it, but a brilliant race. So we go over to trackside now. 3 happy ladies.
52 is my PB on the track. So I just wish it.
Okay, girls, congratulations. Yes.
Because I heard him.
So,
yeah, I know.
So guys, we're streaming live on YouTube here. The camera's just looking down on you up there, so nice facing that way would be brilliant. What a race. Some happy people about here, I believe. Yes, first place we had Annabelle Simpson from Fife. Annabelle, congratulations. Second we had Anne-Marie McGlynn from Letterkenny, and we have Hannah Irwin here from Cambridge and Coleridge as well. Firstly we go to the winner, Annabelle, congratulations. I believe you're inside the qualifying time, is that correct? How did that pan out for you?
Well, my coach and I knew I was quite fit. I had a bit of a rubbish time of it over Christmas. I think I've done 1 cross-country race and I've just started a new job, but everything's come together and I'm just really happy about everything. So I think when you're happy, you run better.
Brilliant, fantastic. Anne-Marie, qualifying?
No, I was going to, today the aim was to run hard, see what I could do for Highgate, and in my head I had sub 15:47 to get Ankina Buckley's record down south. It stood a long time and I wanted that today, and I thought if I get that I'll be running well. So I knew the girls were in it, I knew it was going to be metronomical, and we kind of had to work a wee bit, and I came up and I was like, let's go, because we were down, and that's when it broke up and she got away and we tried. I probably lost the win because of that shout, but look, it got us back on time, and that's what I think we all wanted, just a good hard run.
So strong.
Yeah.
I thought you were another pacemaker.
Yeah.
On the field, so.
Oh, my legs work like that.
Move in there, and then we have Hannah Irwin here. Hannah, how did it go for you then?
Yeah, it was good actually. We started off a bit slower than what I would have hoped, and I think that's when I was like, okay, I'll go to the front and try and take it on. But it was quite windy up here, and I think we sort of left ourselves a bit too much work to do in the second part. And yeah, it was really helpful having Anne-Marie. She came in and shouted at us, but I think it was just a little bit too much. But it was good fun and nice to just get back on the track and see what's to come for the rest of the season.
Fantastic. And talking of the rest of the season, what does the summer hold for you then now, Annabelle?
That is a very good question. I'm not very good at planning things going forward. I'm entered for Highgate, so Highgate's coming up.
That's right, yeah, good.
Other than that, I mean, I tend to race better off not a very concrete plan, so I've kind of not really planned beyond about a month this year, and it's worked well, so I'm going to stick with that.
Anne-Marie, what about plans for you then?
I'm going to try her plan, sounds good. Highgate, and I'm going to try and give the Commonwealth standard a rattle, and then open up my options, whether go 10k in Commonwealth or...
And just talk to us about that Commonwealth standard. So what happens now then?
Well, I have the Commonwealth, the marathon standard and the Euro marathon, so I'm definitely going marathon. I just would like to go 10k in Commonwealth.
Cool. That's not asking too much, is it?
Yeah. No, it's a lot. Like, it's not as easy as that. Yeah, it's not as easy.
Remember last year you just lost out? Remember?
That was last year.
That was last year. No, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Don't mean me negative in that.
Yeah, and I want to get on. I haven't run a marathon in a year now, so, and a lot of that is marathon strength. I don't really touch on 5k pace, so yeah, I don't know where that came out. I think I was just strong and.
Hannah, what's the plans going forward?
Similar to Anne-Marie, except not the marathon. I'd like to have a crack at getting the Commonwealth standard, but we'll see. We'll try and do it together. But yeah, no, that I'd like to try, and if not, just enjoy a race season on the track. So yeah.
Well, guys, congratulations! It was an amazing race, and thanks a million for being part of the North Belfast 5000s. And
thanks to John and I was going to say Seamus and the giraffe. No, Connor, and they've been brilliant. Like they really have. That's an unreal race. Like, and we didn't. Well, like, we didn't have to travel with the girls.
The chauffeur, we even had chauffeur picking us up from the airport, bringing us to accommodation. So it's been great.
You were lucky.
More of these races would be great.
Yeah,
wouldn't it?
I mean, I think that's the thing. We look at everybody sitting in the embankments over there behind you watching it, and then we think, how important Anne-Marie locally, just how these races are.
Yeah, it's rare to get a 5k of that standard. Usually it's 15 and 8 and it's huge, the crowds come out, but like that 5k, I don't think it's ever been done in Northern Ireland, to be honest, and maybe not even in Ireland. Yeah, so a few more of them.
I think I heard Seamus say earlier this could be the most competitive 5k for women, women's race in 20 or 30 years.
And keep them happy now for a while.
Yeah. So, but listen, thank you very much for taking part. Really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you to the pacer as well. Like it was needed at the end. Yeah, so thank you to.
Okay, thanks, girls. Well done. All the best.
So we're back here and I suppose finished with the races. It feels hard to leave now after what a great performance there from Annabelle Simpson, the 5AC athlete, really rounding out the day with a really classy 5k PB there as well. And Anne-Marie McGlynn, probably the highlight of that race as well from an Irish perspective.
Yeah, I think for first and second to PB in that final race in those conditions, superb running by the two of them. It was only maybe a second or two between the two of them in the end. We were absolutely sure that Simpson was going to run away with it, but McGlynn over that last 250 metres really closed the gap. So it was a brilliant way to end the day, and I'd love to say I'm only warming up now, but I'm not.
No, and fair play to everyone. There's the organising committee here. We've John Black with us as well after some great performances today, and both on the track and off it, and really, really well organised. You can see the amount of volunteers here that North Belfast Harriers have had out today. Just a really high quality job done, and shows what can be done by volunteers in the club. That every single race bang on time and a really, really well organised event. So fair play to them, and well done to all the athletes as well today.
Yeah, and I think it's only as the guys do this year on year that they understand and appreciate the way athletes come and go and let you down in the last minute and all that sort of stuff. Seamus McCann, he looked as though he was a beaten up man all week trying to manage this, but they've done it superbly. Conor Curran, John Black, then John Glover and Liz Glover, stalwarts of Athletics Northern Ireland, and all the officials here. So it's a superb day. So Ronan is just going to finish off with the results of that women's 5,000 metres.
Perfect. We just got word there as well that run by Annabelle Simpson 15:44 is actually a consideration standard for the Commonwealth Games, so just outside the actual full standard, so she'll be in the mix for that Commonwealth Games. Anne-Marie McGlynn then 15:46, delighted with a personal best for her, and then Hannah Irwin from Cambridge and Coolidge 15:50 in third. Morag Miller then 15:51 from Central AC. Eve Kilgannon getting ahead of Megan Keat up the home straight 16:07 to 16:09 for those two. Aoife O'Cool from St. Colca 16:12. Ida McDonald from Dunor Harrier 16:20. Stephanie Pennycook from Leeds City AC 16:25. Sorkin O'Donnell 16:26. Celine Gavin from Dublin City Harriers 17:14, and Nolene Scanlon from Letterkenny running 17:20. And just goes to show the quality of that field. You have 10 women under 17 minutes. Which
there's Aoife Kilgannon ran a 4-second PB as well. So to be running 16:07 in that weather there today is brilliant running.
Great positive for the rest of the season going forward. And
so over to John Black now to finish off the proceedings.
So here we have John Black with us today. John, one of the main organisers of the event today, the North Belfast Harriers 5000s, which has been a huge success. John, do you want to just talk us through? I mean, obviously I've been given a few post-race interviews here, and the feedback from the athletes has been phenomenal. They just think the organisation and everything has been first class. Congratulations, first of all. Do you want to just talk us through the preparations to an event like this and how important it is for the local race calendar?
Yeah, I mean, so every year we're trying to build on what we did the previous year. So we've got a template that we've been working with. It's very much like the Highgate Harriers event. So this year we brought the bars onto the track and got some tiers closer to things. And I think they really did add to the final race there.
I think you could definitely feel the atmosphere was definitely better, getting closer. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot goes into it, but there's enough volunteers now to help out, and everyone's invested in what we're doing. And I think even the local athletes and even some of the foreign athletes now are starting to really buy into what we're doing. So, you know, we're just hoping to grow and grow and grow and grow, and hopefully, you know, we will have a Highgate Harriers style event here, you know, in its entirety.
And what else could be added potentially?
Well, there's a nice summer's day like this. It would be nice to have some beers on. So
here.
Everyone's looking forward to that. I don't know if we'd have as many people running as we have watching if we had beer here, but yeah. So I think, you know, we had to kind of show some of our stakeholders that, you know, the event is going to be popular enough to warrant, you know, beverages to be sold. So I think we've got that now. I think there's enough people here would do it, and, you know, maybe for our meet in July we may actually have a bar. So a few other things. Obviously, it would be nice to have some live music maybe playing, some more kind of atmosphere for the spectators. I think for the races themselves, you know, it'd be good to attract, you know, more solid fields, get everyone here, get bigger fields, more quality athletes, reduce the target times, you know, try and really build up the kind of prestige of the event, because we're still finding our feet and athletes are still somewhat unsure about what's going on. So, but that'll come with time, you know, as you know, the results will go up tonight and people will see what we're doing. So that would be one thing to do anyway. So
good stuff. And then you mentioned there's another event in July. Do you want to just elaborate on that for us?
Yeah, so very much we're sticking to this format. So this time, instead of 5,000 metres, we're going to do a mile meet. So it's quite an unusual distance. We don't usually get many chances to run it. So that's scheduled for the July the 9th, Saturday July the 9th. So again, it'll be a similar idea, you know, multiple races, all seeded and timed, and, you know, hopefully we can get some big names down to run and try and set some records. Maybe get Nicholas Griggs down to see if he can take our coach's record.
That's it, get Mr. Griggs. Yeah, I saw him about here earlier. I thought I was going to get an interview with him, but he must have sneaked off. But John, obviously it's a big collaboration, an event like this as well. You know, Belfast City Council behind it, Athletics NI, all the staff involved as well. How important is that?
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, we're not running these events we're not making profit here. If anyone thinks there's a lot of money to be here, that's not the case. You know, we're running at very slim margins, so any assistance we can get is great. So Belfast City Council obviously provide us with barriers and Portaloos, and they look like a good stakeholder going forward. Athletics and I, you know, are really good at promoting the event. And then, you know, obviously our volunteers who, you know, not a single one of them is being paid to do this job. You know, they're standing here for 4 hours on their day off, helping us out, you know, timing these races. You know, John's shouting there, and we've got Liz Glover helping out immensely in the race, and these do not happen without volunteers. So again, I mean, this doesn't happen without them. We couldn't do it without them, and we're so thankful they help us out.
And we can just see in the background there a certain Mr. Christian Jones has just went past you, know, one of the top athletes who's here today. I think he's just doing a wee bit of a warm down there. So it just shows you the calibre involved here. So talk to me a little bit about the streaming of this event as well, and the commentators, because the feedback has been very positive today as well with regarding those guys.
Yeah, so I mean, again, we're obviously trying to improve every year. You know, we had a few local guys. We had Conor McCann and Jared Heaney do it last year, and it was very well received. Now, unfortunately, Jared's not available. He's in Australia. So we thought, look, you know, how can we kind of boost it? And I think we've probably got two of the best commentators in Ireland. I mean, Finn did the European cross country. I mean, I don't really know who you can top there. So yeah, there's that aspect of it. You know, we love to.
Who is it? Who are the commentators, John?
Just Donegan and Finn Riley are doing the commentating for us. So two of the kind of stalwarts of Irish athletics are up here just commentating our stream. I know it's good to kind of get more Irish guys up and running here, because this track is fast. People don't realise that it's very fast here. So yeah, you know, that was one of the things we want to do, is really improve the commentary, get more kudos out of them. So
yeah, fantastic. And there was one of the Scottish athletes, female athletes, mentioned earlier that she was so impressed with this meeting today that she's going to bring at least another 6 athletes next year with her.
Yeah, so that's the thing, is building these relationships with Scottish. Like, I think we did well this year bringing those over. You know, a few things we can do is like set the date way ahead in advance and let people know what's happening. And as I said, once people see what's happening, they usually come. You know, they realise what they're getting here.
Yeah.
And you know, the weather was absolutely brilliant today. A wee bit windy, but perfect for a run fast.
Well, John, congratulations! A very successful event, and long may that last. I'm no doubt it will. Thanks, John.
Cheers. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hiya.
Hello, how did you do?
Oh, I run 15:20, which is exactly
nice, yeah.
what I do. So,
that's
how about
good.
yourself?
Yeah, not bad. Not better than last week. Just was a bit stupid and went to the front.
And did a lot of work.
Yeah, I know. That's why I just phoned my boyfriend.
Give John the last word, yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry.
See, I'm someone who's been involved in sports